The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Okay, ready, gotta go, team, go. You gotta fight, team, fight. You gotta win, team, win. You gotta go.
High school football here on Stora Cable Channel 36. Tonight's game features the Ledyard Colonels against the Fitch Falcons. Colonels 3-0-1 thus far on the season. The Fitch Falcons re-emerging a little bit, 2-2 under new head coach Mike Emery. And gentlemen, we've got a lot of wind today. It's going to be a little bit chilly, but this is certainly football weather, Guy.
Oh yeah, it's always windy up here in Ledyard. You're up on a hill, the breeze comes through here and nasty sometimes. Quarterbacks, depending on who has the wind and who's got the arm, can have a great day. Into the wind, you'll see kicks. If it's wind and blowing real good, you'll see kicks go out 10 yards and come back 20. You know, it's nasty some days.
And Bill, at the quarterback position for the Fitch Falcons, we've got a freshman who'll be filling in for Ross Hartman, who banged up his shoulder last week.
Yeah, and the more I think about it, Sam, a 15-year-old youth starting at quarterback for the Fitch Falcons, not having played football last year in his last football performance at youth football a couple of years ago. Anthony Wilson, I am told, is ready by head coach Mike Emery, and if he is, there's the future for the Fitch Falcons football team.
All right, Jack, McDonald is not here, but the Bowman's back, Guy Mazzarella, and we'll be back with more on today's ball game right after this.
Hi, I'm Michael McDeegan, General Manager of Michael Chrysler Plymouth. That was then, this is now. Here at Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu, we're proud to announce that Isuzu has been added to our dealership. Did you know Isuzu is the oldest truck and car manufacturer in Japan? And now we're your #1 Isuzu dealer in Southeastern Connecticut. What a combination. And should your Isuzu need servicing, our mechanics are the best in the area. Come in and see the all-new Rodeo, the Isuzu Trooper, Impulse, and more. Experience the Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu difference.
Pizza on the run. This is Chris. How may I help you?
This is the TDD operator.
It took an act of Congress to order this pizza.
I have an order for pizza.
An act that guarantees people with disabilities access to everyday things, whether it's getting into a building, getting a job, or just using the telephone.
Olives, green peppers.
Thanks to your support through Easter Seals, even ordering a pizza can be a pretty historic act.
And pineapple.
Pineapple. Okay.
Back at Ledyard High School, Sam Gingerella, Guy Mazzarella, Bill Donovan, prior to kickoff here between the Ledyard Colonels and the Fitch Falcons. An old-time rivalry. And Guy Mazzarella, you were telling us a story during the break about your fearless prediction on today's game.
Oh yeah, usually when we play on this field, there's some vultures living over in hills over here, and if they appear in the sky, we tend to win. So I'm going to be looking for the vultures.
All right, and I'm sure the Fitch Falcons are going to be looking for those vultures too. For the Fitch Falcons, what's the key today? Is it the quarterback play?
Well, the key of the Fitch Falcons is to make sure that they can make the adjustments in game conditions with their new quarterback. And they're also coming off a big loss to Killingly. The Falcons had momentum. They lost last week. They were down. Now we can see whether or not the young Falcons under Mike Emery can come back against a very stingy Ledyard defense. And as Bill Mignault will adhere to, his offense is young, but the defense is still there. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Prediction on the ball game?
I like Fitch.
Guy, your prediction?
I have to go with Ledyard. Being a coach here for that many years and knowing what the kids go through here every week. And I still have some attachments to the trench rats over there on the line. And if they stick to their game plan, it's going to be Ledyard again this year for that trophy.
Okay, we should mention it's the Colonel Ledyard Trophy, is it?
Yeah.
That'll be given after to the winner of today's ball game. We understand if we can get a shot at that trophy. We understand it's a very nice piece of hardware. So the winner of this game gets the Colonel Ledyard Trophy after the ball game. That's our pregame show for today. Now stay tuned for a high school football. The kickoff is coming up.
Toyota BMW in New London, the largest Toyota BMW facility in the Northeast, wants to meet you. With over 100 BMWs and 300 Toyota cars and trucks in stock and a team of 20 knowledgeable salespeople, Gerard is working harder to become your new car dealer. Flexible payment plans make buying easier, and 15 factory-trained service technicians keep your car running like new. Gerard Toyota BMW, New London, where we compete and you win.
The fact of the matter is, the most dangerous thing most people will ever face in the water is the water.
Hi, I'm Michael McKeever, General Manager of Michael Chrysler Plymouth. That was then, this is now. Here at Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu, we're proud to announce that Isuzu has been added to our dealership. Did you know Isuzu is the oldest truck and car manufacturer in Japan? And now we're your #1 Isuzu dealer in Southeastern Connecticut. What a combination. But should your Isuzu need servicing, our mechanics are the best in the area. Come in and see the all-new Rodeo, the Isuzu Trooper, Impulse, and more. Experience the Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu difference.
It's quick! No, I mean really quick. It's easy. Easier than that. And it's the law. No, it's the law. Men register with Selective Service when you turn 18. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union. The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
We are back at Ledyard High School. Sam Gingerella, Bill Donovan, and Guy Mazzarella filling in this week for Jack McDonald. And just prior to coming back to the ballpark, we noticed Guy pointing to the skies over there, and I guess he saw some of those turkey vultures, so that's Guy's prediction. Ledyard's going to win this football game.
Well, I've got my own thoughts on that, Sam. The flies are back in the press box.
And what does that mean?
What's that mean, Guy?
Guy?
No, I don't know about the press box. That's the visitor's side anyway.
Okay. Well, in any case, if the buzzers aren't back, the flies are here, and there have to be at least 50 flies in here. But in the past, would have as many as 50 or more, so that...
I hope nobody's having dinner, you know? I hope nobody's having a late dinner.
It might have something to do with the kind of winter that we're going to have, because there are still flies in Ledyard.
All right.
Big ones, too.
Like I said, I hope nobody's having a late dinner this evening. I hope we didn't ruin it for you guys and ladies and gentlemen.
Let's take a look at the referees.
Yeah, go ahead.
The head referee, the big guy, Jack Barkley. He'll be wearing the white hat today. The umpire, John Gomes. The linesman, Kevin Albanese. The line judge, James Butler. The back judge, Steve Sylvester. And the timer up in the booth, Diamond Rich Maloff.
Well, there you go. And as you can see, both teams are on the field, just about ready to go here prior to the start of the game. Kind of a small crowd. There you see Dan Whittle, number 55. One of the trench rats, as Guy Mazzarella likes to call him. And Danny Whittle, we've called his names a number of times over the years. He's a senior now. We remember when he came up, and he had a great game last year in that game against Newtown with a couple of key plays on defense.
Certainly did. That was a great comeback. One of the greatest high school games I've ever seen. And,
yep.
To have the Ledyard Colonels come back in that ball game to win it was just a fantastic accomplishment for a high school football team. Amateur sports, 11.
And there you see the Fitch Falcons making their way onto the field as we're just moments away from kickoff here at Ledyard High School. Both bands are here, and we understand we're going to have a little bit of the activity from the Fitch and Ledyard High School marching bands during halftime. And Bo, you have a halftime guest as well, no?
Well, we may have a couple. One of them is going to be Ted Koziel, and we all remember Ted from our broadcast from the last couple of years. Outstanding kicker, going to the University of Connecticut now, and we'll be talking to him. He does not travel with the team for the away game, so he's here at Ledyard High School. We'll have him at halftime, and possibly head coach Harry Fargo of the Mitchell College Pequot basketball team, and we'll talk to him if he's here. So that plus the band, Sam.
New head coach Mike Henry with the Fitch Falcons, of course, coming over from Montville. Also at halftime, we understand that Andy Miller from Q105 will be by, and he'll be talking about the historic cable channel 36 MTV Q105 Big Banner Bash. Now, if you bring your banner to the following games, you can win for your team. The following games, of course, this one, Fitch versus Ledyard. Next week, Ledyard versus New London. The third game would be Waterford Ledyard, and the fourth would be Waterford Fitch. And we'll continue this after we get the coin toss.
Colonel Captain.
Well, let me introduce our fellow officials for today's game, okay? Mr. Sylvester, Mr. Butler, Mr. Albanese, Mr. Josh Capone. Okay? You guys are the captains, okay? You're supposed to set the attitude out here, okay? No problems. On the field with no mouths, okay? Fitch, you're the visiting team. I'll throw the coin in the air, okay? If I drop it, I'll throw it again. You call it whites in the air. You're going to call it, okay? Okay, call it in the air. You called the heads, right? It is a tails. It is your choice. You want the ball. What goal do you want to defend? You want to, all right, down here. Ledyard down here. No. Hey. Ledyard won the toss and they will receive, okay? White will kick down. Okay, let's have a good game, guys.
Alrighty, there you have it. Ledyard Colonels will receive the football to start things off. The Fitch Falcons will have the wind at their back for the first quarter of this ball game. And returning to the Big Banner Bash, you can make that banner as outrageous as you want. And the one that wins each week will receive a free football jersey, a football, and a free month of premium cable TV service in the Stora Cable franchise area. The grand prize, a limo ride to Manhattan for an exclusive studio tour of MTV. Call 449-1477 today for more information, and you'll be able to talk to old Uncle Cliffy, who's the van man. Bobo?
And so far, Sam, the best-looking banner or the best-looking sign I see is the Channel 36 banner on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, you know why. Cliff wants to go to MTV tour. Our national anthem from Ledyard High School. National anthem from Ledyard High School, just about set to get underway. The Ledyard Colonels will be going from our, as you look at it, from your right to your left into the breeze, and they'll be receiving the opening kick here in the first half of play. As we mentioned, the Colonels coming in undefeated, but they did tie Stonington opening day, so their record 3-0-1. The Fitch Falcons, a little bit of a reemergence under head coach Mike Emery. They are 2-2. They played a team from Rhode Island along the way, North Kingstown, a team that my alma mater, Wesley, used to play.
It's over in your area, Sam.
Yep.
Well, we'll see what the Fitch Falcons can do today with their new quarterback, Anthony Wilson. See if they can get some points on the board. As we mentioned, they're coming off a tough loss to the Killingly Redmen. I saw Killingly last night against East Lyme. East Lyme did a great job against them defensively. Ledyard Colonels coming off a very narrow victory over the NFA Wildcats, 7-6. So
and Al Harper will put it in play. He'll be kicking off, and a quick note to the people in the band. Cliff, if you can pot the crowd mic down just a tad, we'd appreciate it. Just a little bit. And this one on the ground, going to be fielded by, let's see, at the 25-yard line. One of the Colonel return men picks it up, didn't get the number, but he crosses the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
Number 25.
Number 25 for the Colonels would be I don't have his number listed. Isn't that lovely?
Tough way to start the ball game.
Yeah. Well, whoever he was, congratulations on the kick. Which I've got 22, Antonio Texador, but I have no number 25 listed on my roster.
Come on, Falcons, right from the beginning,
So the Colonels and the Falcons underway here from Ledyard High School. First possession of the football game from their own 28-yard line.
Yes!
Handoff on first down and 10. And very little yardage gain.
Flag on a play.
And a flag. That was carried by Joe Jones, I believe, wasn't it? In the backfield?
Bydro Williams.
Okay, Bydro Williams with the carry. And this is going to be a march off against the Colonels. Very bright day today. And we're looking right into that midday sun. It's kind of tough to see the numerals, no?
It'll be tough. I've got the binoculars also. We'll be all set. Plus, we've got Guy on the sidelines.
All right, Guy will be our unofficial spotter as well as being our sideline Jim Lantley impersonator.
That was against Fitch, by the way.
Yep. A 15-yarder. Didn't catch what the call was. Jason Smith will come in motion. And this is Joe Jones. Big number 32 rumbles out to near midfield. Gene Conley makes the stop for the Falcons, the big tackle. He's a senior, 6'1" and 230. So he's a load, and he drags down Joe Jones from behind. Just short of the midfield stripe. It'll be second down, probably close to 5 yards to go. And there you see the Ledyard sidelines. Head coach Bill Mignault there with the blue jacket on and the blue cap, prowling the sidelines. And here's Bydro Williams. And he'll get short yardage. Number 65 is Jeff Uremia on the stop. Jeff's a big kid too, 6-footer, 220-pound junior.
Let's take a look at that Fitch Falcon defense. On the line, Chris Vaughn, Mark Spars, Gene Conley, along with Jeff Uremia. The linebackers, Michael Scott, G.Drab, Matt Gibbs, Lincoln Scully Power returns to the lineup this week, and Michael Jones, number 31. Deep guys, Ray Brown is the free safety. Daryl Sebastian, number 15, is also another safety.
So third down and short yardage to go. Here's Williams again, and he'll pick up the first down. Dancing his way through traffic, Daryl Sebastian finally makes a stop from his corner position, but not before the Colonels pick up the first down. 10:08 to go, first quarter, no score here from Ledyard High School. Well, this winter, when you think of warmth and security for your family, think Benvenuti Oil. For 3 generations, Benvenuti Oil has delivered prompt, reliable service and high-quality oil. That's Benvenuti Oil, 443-6115. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. The little counter tray. Here's Joe Jones, and he has close to first down yardage.
Sam, right now Ledyard line is winning the battle up front.
G.Drab, number 33 from his linebacker position, made the stop. But you're right, Guy Mazzarella. Big holes in that front wall for the Ledyard Colonels. And now the Fitch Falcons want to take a timeout to talk about it. So there's a break in the action, 9:37 to go here in the first quarter. Your score, Ledyard nothing and Fitch nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Back at Ledyard High School, Sam Gingerella, Guy Mazzarella, and Bill Donovan. It's a first and 10 for the Colonels, and here's Bydro Williams again, trying to get outside. Cuts it back inside the tackle. And a pretty good gain, about 2 or 3 yards for Bydro.
So first possession of the afternoon for the Ledyard Colonels. They start out at their own 28-yard line. A first down on a Fitch Falcon penalty, 2 more first downs, and that's the first play that they've had where they didn't get a first down. Sam, moving the ball, no problem on the ground. Jones and Bydro Williams.
All right, and it is Bydro. I have a tendency to call him Bydro. I don't know why. Just a mental block, I guess. Second down, we'll call it 7. With the reverse, The Falcons read it beautifully and stick it for a loss. That was number 46 for the Colonels.
Number 65 made the tackle.
Yep, that was Jeff Urimia, but the ball carrier, Richard Keltonic, number 46.
And Guy Mazzarella, the kind of changes that Fitch Falcon defense would make on that timeout. What's Mike Emery looking for?
He's looking, seemed to get a little bit more pressure from his 2 tackles and one of the linebackers. He had some stunts on that time. Something he didn't have originally in the first part of it. He would just kind of sit back reading.
All right, a loss of 2 or 3. It'll be 3rd and 10 now. Passing situation. And they'll go to the short game. This is Bydro Williams. Breaks a couple of tackles. Williams with one guy to beat, and he makes a tackle down inside the 15-yard line. A 1st and 10 for the Colonels as they went with the short pass. A bit of a gamble, Bobo. But Bydro Williams danced his way down inside the 20 to about the 16 or 17-yard line for a 1st down.
Falcons that time looking for the ball up the middle. Nice screen pass, well executed for the 1st down.
And with 8:01 to go 1st quarter, the Ledyard Colonels are in the red zone. Now a flag on the play. Might be too long. Delay a game call here. I don't know. Well, every Monday night at 7, right before the 1992 Fall Sports Jam on Story Cable Channel 36, you can watch Q105 DJ Andy Miller and the hottest music videos. Every week, see what's hot in music and film. Wired. That's every Monday at 7 and every Saturday at midnight, right here on Story Cable Channel 36. And I was reading that promo and I didn't notice what the flag
Offside.
was. Offside against the Fitch Falcons, so they march it down inside the 10. Jones is the ball carrier on short yardage, right up the middle. Excuse me, that was Bydro Williams again. And he's down inside the 10, about the 8.
And credit's got to go to that Ledyard Colonel offensive line. They're opening up holes for Jones and Williams, and they're running at will. Successive plays. They've now picked up 4 1st downs, and it looks like they're looking to score.
They're running a lot of traps in the middle, and the traps are working great.
2nd and short. This is Williams again, and he'll pick up the 1st down as he's down near the 5-yard line. Interior line making the stop. I think Matt Gibbs was there first, number 76 for the Fitch Falcons. 1st and goal now from the 5-yard line from the Colonels. On their first possession, they've had the ball now nearly 5 minutes as we're coming up on the 7-minute mark, 1st quarter. Oh, where? And we do have a banner in the crowd. There it is. I can't read it, though. Get a close-up of that thing if we can. Andy Miller will be here at halftime to judge the banners. You know the winner is Bydro Williams, and he is in. Bydro Williams, excuse me, goes the final 5 for the Colonels, and they break on top 6-0. I was talking about that banner. Forget all about the play. Touchdown for Williams with 6:50 to go here in the 1st quarter. And they made it look easy, Guy.
Yeah, most of the plays they've had that got the yardage in the middle were quick traps and pulling plays by looked like the left side of the line. And they're getting that middle opened up quick.
All right, the extra point attempt by Wayne Grimm coming. Plenty of leg on it, and he's got it. So with 6:50 to go, we have a break in the action. 1st quarter, your score, the Ledyard Colonels 7, the Fitch Falcons nothing. We'll be back after this.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Back at Ledyard High School, Sam Gingerella, Bill Donovan, Guy Mazzarella. The Falcons, the Colonels made it look easy on their opening drive. They go, what was that, about 72 yards for the score on that drive. What was that scoring drive? How many plays, Bill?
We'll get that right after this kickoff.
All right, the kick goes out of bounds, so that'll cost the Colonels 5. Go ahead, Bill.
All right, unofficially, 10 plays, 5 first downs, 72 yards. Barbara Williams goes in for the touchdown with 6:50 on the clock, so they control the ball for almost 6 minutes in the first quarter on that one drive. That's important too. You got a sustained drive to begin the ball game.
And now we'll get our first look after the kickoff. We'll get our first look at freshman quarterback Anthony Wilson, wearing number 7 today. He's a 5'9", 175-pound freshman, and head coach Mike Emery says he's ready to play football, and he might be ready in practice ball, but game action is something quite different.
Well, they're high on him, and as I mentioned in the pregame show, he has not played football for 2 years, and the last time was in youth football. So let's see what he can do today.
Okay, Wilson turns and hands it to one of his backfield mates, number 31, Mike Jones, and Jones struggling and gets about 4 or 5 yards on the play as they run it to the near side, the short side of the field. Mike Jones with a good pickup, and he's only a sophomore, 5'8", 170.
And I understand they've got several plays that they're going to have Wilson attempt during the day. Mike Emery also tells me that Wilson can throw the ball and he can throw it deep and long.
And he's got a couple of big targets too. 5'10" Calvin McCoy is number 16, and 6'3", number 81 is Brian Hopkins on the other side, the tight end. Play right up the middle and not much yardage there. 3rd down, and it'll be still about 3, maybe 4 yards to go from the Fitch Falcon 42-yard line. I mentioned the receivers are big ones. Brian Hopkins, number 81, is 6'3", 185. The other split end, number 16, Calvin McCoy, is 5'10", and 150. And we understand he's got kangaroo legs, so both of these guys can get up and get the football. They'll go on the crossbuck now. Number 35 is Rasan Crawford, and he's got himself a 1st down as they ran that counter tray action. Yeah, Guy. Yep.
This young quarterback looks like he's been doing this a long time. A lot of poise. A lot of poise.
So far, he's only been handing it off, but certainly looks smooth back there.
Got to get his game legs. Mike Emery giving him just the basic handoffs, but we'll see the offense develop as the game does.
Number 15 in the ball game right now, that's Darryl Sebastian in one of the end positions. The quick pitch to Mike Jones. He's got room on the sidelines. Mike Jones steps out at about the, let's see, 34-yard line. Otherwise, he was gone. Mike Jones, as they got the corner on the quick pitch. And number 49 for the Colonels coming across to make the saving play was Greg Schwartzberg, I believe.
Yep. Without that, he'd have been gone. Greg knocked him out of bounds.
Sam, while you're looking at it, let me take a look at that Fitch Falcon offensive line. Calvin McCoy, Mark Spars, Matt Gibbs, Aaron Teague, Ali Rivera, Gene Conley, and Brian Hopkins.
On 1st down, a loss on the play as they pitch it out to Jones to try the far side. And big number 55, Dan Whittle, is there to make the stop for the Ledyard Colonels. A loss of about 5, maybe even 6. It'll be 2nd and 16.
Somebody missed a block there, Sam.
Yeah, they had a stunt on also.
At Michael Chrysler Plymouth, 425 Broad Street, New London. The all-new 1993 Chrysler Concorde is in. This brand-new vehicle is in stock and available for demonstration at Michael Chrysler Plymouth, 425 Broad Street, New London. Passes away and incomplete. That one had a chance to be intercepted and also a chance to be a reception. Sean Lowe is there defensively for the Ledyard Colonels. And for the Fitch Falcons, the only one near that ball was Rasan Crawford, number 35. And that's a good shot of Rasan.
Ball thrown in traffic that time. Think the receiver would have caught the ball, but the defender, as you mentioned, right there blocked his view momentarily, and that's why it was not a reception.
And Anthony Wilson with a nice tight spiral anyway. 4:36 to go. 3rd down, 16 now. Back to throw is Wilson under pressure. Now he's going to run it out of there, and he'll pick up a couple before he gets run out of bounds by Schwartzberg on the near sideline. Also applying some of the pressure out there, number 33, Jeremy Stein, from his linebacker position.
So, Sam, just a month ago, young Anthony Wilson, one of 3 freshmen Mike Emery had in the Jamboree games, October the 17th, starting quarterback for the Fitch Falcons.
All right, so the Falcons now face 4th down and 12, just inside the 40-yard line of the Falcons. Wilson unloads it. He's got a man open. Incomplete. A well-designed play, and that was Calvin McCoy, number 16, who was open, but just overthrown. And I tell you what, this kid Wilson looks like he's got a fairly good arm, so Mike Emery was really quite accurate when he described the abilities of this young Anthony Wilson.
Yeah, he's coming off the field right now, Sam, and he's not worried, doesn't look worried about anything. A lot of poise. He looks good.
On that play, the Fitch Falcons will give up the football. Colonels take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 40, their second possession. And if we can turn the crowd mic down just a little bit, I'd appreciate it. But here's Mignault Williams, very short yardage.
So Fitch Falcon defense this time going to have to shore it up just a little bit as the Ledyard Colonels on their first possession went 72 yards as they ran at will through the nice screen pass to Mignault Williams, setting up the touchdown. So the Colonels lead it 7-0.
Lincoln Scully Power made the tackle on that last play. It'll be 2nd down and still about 10 yards to go with 3:27 to go here in the first quarter of play from Ledyard High School. This is Joe Jones on the counter tray, and they didn't even have a chance to get it started.
Hey, Guy, you're a former football coach at the high school level. How important is this series for the Fitch Falcon defense and also the Ledyard Colonel offense?
It's more important for Fitch than it is for Ledyard right now. Fitch has got to get back and establish itself from the poor showing it had in that first part of the game. Right now, it looks like they've shored up their middle a little bit, and they're stopping that trap that Ledyard was successful with.
Chris Conley, number 77, was the big guy who made the stop on Jones on the last play. It'll be 3rd down and about 13. The quick pitch out to Darren Carter. Carter looking to get going, and he just can't do it. Great defensive shoot-top tackle to the far sideline by Mike Jones, number 31, who goes both ways, offensively and defensively. I'd like to remind our viewers you can watch the 1992 Sports Jam every Monday at 8 here on Stora Cable Channel 36. And we'd like to welcome our new affiliate this season, Eastern Connecticut Cable Channel 13. Now all of Southeastern Connecticut can experience the 92 Fall Sports Jam Monday at 8 o'clock here on Stora Cable Channel 36 and Eastern Connecticut Cable Channel 13. And here's the kick away, a low liner. This will be returnable.
He's got some blocks.
Blocking indeed, and he gets it up near the midfield stripe. Daryl Sebastian, number 15, on the return for the Fitch Falcons. Yes, guys.
Sam, Fitch made an adjustment in their middle on defense, and that stopped Ledyard's trap plays and middle dives. Now they just have to work on containing that outside run by Mignault, and they're back in this ballgame. That was an important series for them.
And offensively, even with the freshman at quarterback, Wilson, Anthony Wilson, they look like they can move the football.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a freshman from down here.
Well, just as I say it, Mike Jones takes the handoff and gets buried in the backfield by Dan Whittle. And number 57 also on the stop for the Colonels, Steve Reardon.
And Sam, one of the best kept secrets during the week was who would be the next Fitch Falcon quarterback. What I noticed in the pregame warm-ups was head coach Bill Mignault trying to look over at the Fitch Falcons to see what their new quarterback was going to do, who he was going to be, and whether or not he was going to be throwing the ball. And so they've got to adjust during the game situation.
And an official timeout. Time to remind you that October is a great month for anyone looking for a new or used car. Charter Oak Federal Credit Union is offering excellent financing terms and Auto Easy, where you can call toll-free for assistance with final negotiations in your car purchase. You can call 1-800-969-0282. That's 1-800-969-0282. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union. Call 446-8085 for more information.
And this week's Stora Cable 36 Player of the Game is sponsored by Gerard Toyota BMW in memory of David Roach. And looking at our previous winners, Tom Gardner from the Stonington Bears, Andy Prescott from Waterford High School, and last week, Mark Thompson of the New London High School Whalers.
92 Fall Sports Jam is a production and presentation of Stora Cable of Groton, Channel 36, local organization production. So I got a lot of stuff to read now. Local origination. Thank you. I can't read your hand scratch, I'm telling you.
And next week, we'll have the Ledyard Colonels against the New London High School Whalers.
That ought to be a heck of a ball game. Ball is loose. Wilson picks it up. And he is swallowed up immediately by Swatsburg. Greg Swatsburg from his middle linebacker position to make the stop. 1:22 to go here in the first quarter.
So Falcons on this possession, their second of the ball game, going backwards. Colonels with their first possession scored on a touchdown, so they lead at 7-0.
Wilson back to throw under the gun. Whittle's going to get him. Dan Whittle made the play, but the stop actually made by number 33, Jeremy Stein. And there you see Anthony Wilson. And he's going to be playing for a bit more blocking. And Cliff in the van, if you can give my mic just a little bit more gain, I'd appreciate it. 49 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Well, a definite passing down that time. No blocking for the young quarterback, and he was rushing the backfield and sacked, as you mentioned, by the Ledyard Colonel defense.
They're not picking up the stunt between Whittle and the linebacker.
All right, so it'll be a 4th down and almost 25, and Wilson will have to kick. This is a low line driver, but it gets away. And this will be a great bounce for the Fitch Falcons back to the 10-yard line. Goes by Wilson, and he gets it back out to about the 12 or 13-yard line. So the Colonels will be within the shadow of their own goalpost. And Uncle Cliff in the van, I'm having trouble hearing my mic. I don't know if it's my imagination or whether I need a little bit more gain.
Sam, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
So third possession, Ledyard Colonels on about their own 18-yard line. 17 seconds left in the first quarter.
Time for maybe one more play, Bo.
Fitch is going to have to get the same kind of play out of its defense that it got out of its offense a little while ago.
And I was impressed.
The other way around.
And I was impressed with Anthony Wilson's punting ability.
And the clock rolling. They'll let the clock run out. That's the end of the first quarter. And your score after 12 minutes of play here from Ledyard High School. The Colonels lead it over the Fitch Falcons by a score of 7-0. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Like that, all right? Don't be such a little shit. Play the goddamn game of football and get to him hard. Hard sticks. Hard sticks. Get to the ball.
Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Colleen has waited 20 years for this bus. Now, thanks to the Americans with Disabilities Act, the wait is over.
Back at Ledyard High School, Sam Gingerella, Bill Donovan, Guy Mazzarella. Started the second quarter. We did miss one play, but it wasn't very eventful. As a matter of fact, Ledyard Williams might as well, he's hoping we forget about it because he lost 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12. So quarterback Bingham looking over 2nd and long, and they'll pitch it out to Ledyard, and he has to go back and pick it up off the ground. And still, lots of running room down that far sideline for Ledyard Williams, and a first down carry out to near the 30-yard line, just outside the 30. And a great run by Ledyard Williams as he started that in not very good terms as he dropped the football.
Good counter move that time by Bill Mignault and the Ledyard Colonels. They know that the Fitch Falcons have shored up the middle, so they're now sweeping the ends.
11:06 to go, second quarter, 7-0. Your score, the Ledyard Colonels leading it on a 5-yard touchdown run by Ledyard Williams on their first possession of this football game back in the first quarter. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 32. This is Jones. And Joe Jones has short yardage. Making the stop, number 44, Chris Vaughn, from his defensive end position. Chris, a 6', 185-pound senior.
Colonels don't pass that often, Sam, and what they've done on 2 occasions is go with a little flat pass or the screen pass. So the Fitch Falcon defenders keying on Joe Jones, number 32, and Ledyard Williams, number 18.
Second down, still 10 yards to go for the Colonels. Their own 30-yard line. Now back to pass is Bingham under the gun. Gets it away. Incomplete. So we've got a flag on the play. While we check out the flag, I'd like to remind you that at Girard Toyota BMW, all the 1993 lines are in, including the 93 Toyota Corolla with its new body style. If you're in the market for a 93 Camry, they're just off the trucks as well. With over 10 truckloads of 93 stock, Girard Toyota BMW is in a position to offer huge savings. That's Girard Toyota BMW, 543 Coleman Street, New London. The number is 447-3141. Bill?
And
No
what
flag.
what I was trying to point out, Sam, was Gary Pendleton, number 48, was all by himself at about the Fitch Falcon 45-yard line.
Okay, thought there was a flag. Back to throw, Bingham being rushed, gets it off, completes it to Joe Jones for a first down. Mike Jones makes the stop along with G.Drab, but a first down for Joe Jones.
And Guy Mazzarella, just as we analyze the fact that the Ledyard Colonels are using just flat passes, they come back with 2 big pass plays.
Well, we have a whole series of them, and for the past couple weeks, the primary receiver seems to be Darren Carter, but I guess Tommy looks like he's starting to look off and starting to go to other people. I wouldn't be surprised to not see him go to Pendleton one time, because Pendleton tends to be open almost on any passing play they've run. People overlook him.
That's number 48, Gary Pendleton. And we'll watch for him. Here's Pendleton with the ball. And very short yardage. They went with that wing back reverse. Is there any trapping action on that play? The Ledyard Colonels used a trap block on that wing back reverse guy?
No.
No, okay. 9 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Clock rolling. Second quarter. Your score, Ledyard Colonels 7, Fitch Falcons, the big goose egg.
Coming to bat.
And speaking of coming to bat, what about that World Series?
It's going to be a good one. And on that first possession, the Ledyard Colonels marched 72 yards for the touchdown. Second possession, the Fitch Falcons held. Now they're passing.
And they'll set up the screen, and great defense by the Fitch Falcons as they eat it up right at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like we might have, nope, for a minute there, I thought we had an injured Ledyard Colonel. That's Ledyard Williams getting up rather slowly. Maybe just a psychological wound there as they lost yardage on that screen. And now it'll be third down and about 13.
And the team's playing today for that Colonel Ledyard sword. Guy Mazzarella down the field trying to see whether he can get that sword, because I understand the team
Beautiful
that has it bring it back and present it to the other team at the end of the game.
Now we have
offside.
flags. Guy, an offside call?
An encroachment.
Against the defense?
Somebody was in the zone.
Yep. So that'll cost the Ledyard, the Fitch Falcons 5. It'll still be third and long, but you don't like to give up this type of yardage.
Against the Colonels.
Oh, excuse me.
One of the Ledyard Colonels lined up offside.
Okay. Guy doesn't miss a trick, does he? Old Hawkeye over there on the sidelines.
I told you, 2 guys look like brothers on the pregame show.
He also picked up those turkey vultures. I didn't see one.
They're out there.
I think he's just wishful thinking, Guy.
Oh, no.
All right, we've got a timeout, breaking the action. 8:30 to go here in the second quarter. Your score, the Ledyard Colonels 7, Fitch Falcons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Chili dogs, popcorn, hot chocolate, tea, coffee, candy, and Dana food.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like
Got a trips passing pattern position formation here.
All right. Trips to the near side of the field, third and long, and they hand it off to Joe Jones. So they tried to get everybody spread out and maybe trick him with the run play, but the Falcons weren't biting. And that'll bring up a fourth down and a punting situation for the Falcons with 8:12 to go here
There's the sword.
There's the sword here in the second quarter. We'll have to get that down on the field a little bit later on so we can let our viewers take a gander. That is a beautiful trophy.
So the Colonels will punt it away. The Fitch Falcons will look for it. And I'm going to get this baby over here so we can see what's on there.
Okay.
81, Brian Hopkins.
You'll see a lot of wins by Ledyard.
Darren Carter kicks it away on the hop. It's Sebastian, and his knee goes down at about the 31-yard line. Go ahead, take a look at that. Yeah,
let's see. What we've got here is the Colonel Ledyard Memorial Sword presented annually to the winner of the Fitch High versus Ledyard Football Classic. And it represents the bond between the towns of Groton and Ledyard. The town of Ledyard was named for the Groton patriot Colonel William Ledyard, who died at the Battle of Fort Grizzle September the 6th, 1781. Is presented by the Groton Town Police Patrolman Benevolence Association, post number 3, and that goes back to November 10th, 1984. There it is.
There you go. And you read very well.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Fitch has only taken it once.
All right, Guy. We'll take your word on that because I really don't know. 1st and 10. Falcons. Ball is loose again. And Wilson covers, but no yardage gain. Anthony Wilson, the freshman quarterback, doing a pretty fine job thus far, but on his last couple of exchange from center, he's muffed a couple.
So that takes care of the question as to the significance of the Memorial Award and who presents it and who has won it the most and post-game activities.
Yep. We'll have them for you.
And Sam, 2 of the flies have landed on our player of the game plaque.
Oh, isn't that nice? Back to throw is Wilson. Loops it downfield. A little too much mustard on that one. Intended for Darryl Sebastian.
And
Darryl Sebastian.
And a reminder that today's Story Cable 36 Sports Player of the Game, sponsored by Gerard Toyota BMW in memory of David Roach, and past winners, Tom Gardner, Andy Prescott, and Mark Thompson, 3 outstanding players, and that's our team we're developing for our postseason all 36 football team.
Is that the all-bow team?
The all-bow team.
All right. 7-11 to go. Makes me want to grab a cup of coffee. I don't know why. 7-11.
7-11.
Second down and about 11. Again, they'll go with the same pass. This time McCoy has it complete, but very short yardage, as Bydro Williams put a good hit right on the numbers of old Calvin McCoy, and short yardage there. But that was a good throw into the stiff breeze, Bobo, and across the field. Anthony Wilson is showing me a lot of talent from his quarterback position.
And Guy, a little give and go on that one would be an outstanding play. That time wide open, stop and go, and have Wilson just unload it.
You mean the old hook and ladder play, made famous by the Ledyard Colonels?
No, just stop and go.
Oh, all right.
He was wide open, man to man.
4th down and 8, and the Falcons will punt it away. From his own 20, it's Wilson. This will be a short kick. Bydro will get it right at midfield, but he drops it. Has to go back for it. And he'll be down right about the 44-yard line.
And Sam, maybe Guy can tell me, Guy, why do the punters always punt the ball right to where the players are instead of making them catch it on the fly and kicking it away from them?
I don't think they do it intentionally. It's just bad luck sometimes. You try to get him to kick the ball anywhere but near the guy that's going to get you the most trouble. And it seems you put him out on the field, you tell him that over and over again, and it still gets kicked right at the guy you don't want to have getting the ball.
Okay.
That's good enough for me.
Good enough for me, too.
1st down and 10 for the Colonels, their own 44-yard line. They lead it 7-0 with 6:04 to go here in the second quarter. And here's Bydro Williams, breaks it back against the grain. Nice 8-yard pickup for Bydro as he's in Falcon territory, 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, from around here,
I think Ray Brown made the stop, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I sound biased, but I'm watching down here, and Ricky Sheldon and Joe Lindstrom and Myron Leander are doing a heck of a job up front in this trench.
I'd like to remind everyone the 92 Fall Sports Jam is a production and presentation of Stora Cable of Groton, Channel 36, local originating productions. Local origination productions. How's that, Cliff? For those of you who know nothing about TV, we have the privilege and the honor of being spoken to on the intercom. You can't hear it on the air, but we can hear Cliff nice and clear from the van up here in our headsets.
Loudly and clearly.
All right, a 3rd down and still short yardage as Bydro Williams is unable to pick up much of anything on that carry. So it'll be 3rd down, still about 2.
Halftime, we'll talk to Ted Koziel, and we'll see both bands are here today. And I don't see too many banners.
There's a
There's
nice
Mike
shot
Emery.
of Mike Emery on the sidelines. Urging his defense on right now. Third and short, here's Bydro Williams. He'll have a first down inside the 45-yard line.
And Sam, it has been a defensive ball game with the exception of the first possession by the Ledyard Colonels when they marched 72 yards for the only score of the ball game.
Darryl Sebastian making the stop for the Fitch Falcons. And the trench, what did you call him, the trench rats guy?
Yeah, we picked that name up about 10 years ago. I thought it up, and ever since then, the kids in the line we call them the trench rats.
Well, they're doing a fine job grinding out the yardage on the ground. Now back to throw is Bingham. Short pass unloads it for Williams. Incomplete on the near sideline. So just as I say they're doing a great job on the ground, they go to the air and it's an incomplete ball. I tell you what, I'm not jinxing these Colonels today.
Well, Bill Mignault, prior to the game, told me today, and he's told me the last couple of weeks, it's a young team, and they're doing the best they can on offense. Not much of a threat on offense. Defense has kept them in ball games, and today, Joe Jones, Bydro Williams have been carrying the ball for the most part, but Tom Bingham, maybe what, 2 for about 5 on his passing today.
All right, it'll be second down and 10. Go on the reverse pass. Got a man open down the middle. That's Darren Carter, but it's incomplete. Jason Smith came across from his wingback position, then they threw the football intended for Carter. He was open for a while, but that ball really not on target by Jason Smith. The defense was there, but Carter was open had the ball been thrown on the money. And you know, you were at a wedding last week, and I understand a late night last night. And looks like you're not missing any dinners there, big guy.
Haven't missed a meal.
You're gonna get out in the old gym like your buddy Sam.
I don't have time.
All right. Third down now and 10. Under the gun, Bingham is gonna be sacked back in midfield. Number 76, Matt Gibbs, coming on the linebacker blitz, made the stop. And a big defensive play on third down by the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah, you had a breakdown in the middle of Danny Whittle and Myron Leanna missed their blocks. The guy was was on him and by him before they could react.
That means the Colonels will have to kick it away on fourth down from their own 48-yard line. Sebastian is back deep in deep formation, along with, I can't read the number of the guy on the near sidelines. Those white jerseys with this bright sunlight, it's very hard to pick up the numbers.
81.
That one goes right between the two deep men and into the end zone for the touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And there's a break in the action with 3:22 to go here in the second quarter. Your score, Ledyard 7, Fitch nothing, back in 30 seconds.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality, the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
On first down, the carry went to Greg Davis. Pickup of about 1 on the play.
And Sam,
So
we've got
to
to get a picture of Old Glory so that the fans can see the kind of wind that the two quarterbacks have to contend with. Ledyard Colonels have it in their favor right now. Anthony Wilson throwing into the wind.
Well, actually, the wind's kind of swirling around, so it's very unpredictable. I don't think it's a real advantage for either side. Here's Wilson running the option play, pitches it back, and let's see. The Colonels have the football.
Oh, D on the ball!
As the freshman makes a freshman mistake, pitches the ball out. It was free, and the Colonels have it. And that's a big, big turnover, because now they get the ball deep in Falcon territory, and that defense will have to come up stiff and make the stop on them.
That was a big play. Bad mistake on Fitch's part. Fitch's offense, if it could get going like the defense is, would be able to stay in this ballgame and maybe do something.
Kind of reminds me of last week's game. The Storrington Bears played much the same type of game. Their defense was absolutely stalwart, but they couldn't get any ground. They couldn't get anything going offensively, and eventually New London wore him down. Bydro Williams, he's going to be hit in the backfield. Number 77 there first is Gene Connolly, and then wrapped up by one of the interior linemen, number 59, Mark Smars, and a loss on the play of about a yard. So again, the Falcon defense coming up big. And Lord knows they have to in this position.
First real big break of the ball game for either side. See whether or not the Ledyard Colonels can capitalize on it. Wilson again at that time running the ball, was being pulled down, which is why the ball didn't go to the person he was trying to lateral it to.
I like that body language you use here in the booth. Is really exciting. Here's Jason Smith, short yardage. Excuse me, that's Joe Jones on the carry. And again, short yardage, and the Ledyard Colonels want to take a quick timeout with 1:49 to go here in the first half. When this winter, when you think of warmth and security for your family, think Benvenuti Oil. For 3 generations, Benvenuti Oil has delivered prompt, reliable service and high-quality oil. Benvenuti Oil has a 24-hour service department, and Benvenuti features the Burnham boiler line, hydronic or steam. Burnham boilers are one of the most economical burners today. Call Benvenuti Oil. Winter's fast approaching. Call 443-6115. That's 443-6115. And you're chomping at the bit, Bo. Go ahead.
You ask for either Carol or
for
Charlie.
What?
Ask for Carol.
Oh,
Carol
Carol
answers the phone. Charlie never answers the phone.
All right.
Carol answers the phone, and you ask for Charlie.
That's kind
Mazzella.
of a chauvinistic thing to say.
Carol always answers the phone.
All right, we'll have to talk to Charlie.
Charlie Mazzella, good man.
Get on that phone. 1:49 to go here in first half. 7-0. Colonels leading the Falcons and threatening for more as they're down near the 20-yard line with a 3rd down and about 11. Big play here for the Colonels, but I'm sure they'll go for it on 4th if they've any kind of position at all. But Bydro Williams doesn't pick up much yardage on the far sideline. Number 44, Chris Vaughn, makes the stop for the Fitch Falcons. And it'll be 4th down and long now, about 10 yards to go.
And Sam, I'm going to mention it to you because you never would be able to figure out who the voice is on the Charter Oak Community Credit Union spot. Because we never hear him talk softly like that.
Yeah, that's our Uncle Cliffy.
That's Cliff Robinson. So
doing a wonderful job. And here, look at this. We're going to have a field goal attempt from the 35. That'll be about a 45-yard attempt. Kick is low, and it's hits the goalpost, but below the...
That's tougher to hit the post than is to get it through the upper.
Well, it's almost like a soccer goal almost. So the kick is no good. And on 4th down, the ball will now go to the Fitch Falcons at the original line of scrimmage because they were outside the 20-yard line when they attempted that field goal.
I've been impressed with the defensive teams on both sides of the field today, and that's been the difference. The Ledyard Colonels, as we mentioned, marched on their first possession, 72 yards. Bydro Williams with a 6-yard touchdown run. Extra point was good. They lead it 7-0.
And there you see a new feature, clock cam.
I've got to get down on the field for the halftime show.
Sure do.
Ted Koziel.
We'll be following the bands at halftime, and also Andy Miller's supposed to be here with some banner bashing.
I don't know about that.
Back to pass was Anthony Wilson. Never had a chance to get it away. So with the clock rolling, we're under a minute now. It'll be 2nd down and about 12. And Wilson quickly now going to call a timeout to talk things over. I'm sure the youngsters got to be a bit confused. Never been in this position before with the clock under a minute to go, and Mike Emery wanting to go to the air. He may be questioning the call a little bit.
And Guy Mazzarella, if you can grab Mike Emery on his way into the locker room and just see if he'll be willing to speak with me as he comes out just before the beginning of the 3rd quarter, just for a minute or so, I'd appreciate it.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I just don't think he wants him to make any mistakes right here at 45 seconds.
No, I mean, as he's going into the locker room.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Gonna find out, well, that's one way we've got to do it. Telecommunications. Telephone, telegraph.
The magic of television.
And tell a guy instead of tell a woman. Oh my gosh, what Cliff just said.
45 seconds to go. I think he got a shock. That's what it was.
Next week, the Ledyard Colonels will take on the London High School Whalers. You'll have all the action right here on Star Cable 36 Sports at 8 o'clock following Wired. And Sam, we're going to get you on Wired.
Well, I'm waiting.
We're saving you for the big one right around Thanksgiving
Day.
The big one, huh? When we'll be doing Westerly Stonington.
Oh,
travels.
get them dogs.
Stonington travels to the Bulldogs this year.
Go get them dogs.
Well,
I
I'll tell you
understand the head coach Tom Turnover got a good team rolling over there in Rhode Island this year.
Right now, I've got to give the edge to Westerly.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Stonington can get their offense in gear, they'll give a lot of people some problems because their defense is really stingy. They did it against New London until the late going when the defense really got kind of tired from being on the field so much. But I tell you, they impressed me defensively. Just
Feel the anticipation. You hold it deep inside.
We don't have a Mike Daggett back in the lineup for the Ledyard Colonels.
They probably retired that number.
Yeah.
How about for the Fitch Falcons? I haven't got their roster. 36?
36 is?
No 36. No more Fitch Falcon games.
All right. I guess that'll teach them.
I was trying to get Uncle Cliff to see if he would give us one of those Story Cable 36 football shirts. Maybe we'll wear those on our post game.
Yeah, I'd like to have a Story Cable 36 tuxedo to wear, you know?
There's Andy.
Andy Miller is here.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get him over here, give him my headset. I'm going down the field.
All right. 36 seconds to go here in the first half. No, don't worry. I'm not going to ask any football questions. Andy, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Back to throw is Wilson. Under the gun, gets it away. Incomplete. Right through the hands of number 35, Verson Crawford, who circled out of the backfield, and he was wide open right at about the 48-yard line, and that ball went right through his hand. Catchable, hey, Guy?
Oh, yeah, that went right through the uprights. So you know, hit him right in the hands, and he went through. He was only about 4 yards away from the sideline. He could have caught that ball, jumped out, stopped the clock, and it'd have been near a midfield.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's a nice zip on that ball by Anthony Wilson. He's impressed me as a freshman coming in here, his first ball game. You're right, real poise. He did have the fumble a few minutes ago, but showing me a lot of athletic ability. By Joe Williams, the ball pops loose, and I believe the Falcons have it.
Number
By
15.
Joe Williams fumbled, and Sebastian picked it up. Number 15 is Darryl Sebastian, who picked up the loose football, and with 24 seconds to go, the Fitch Falcons have another shot at it here from midfield. Andy, bear with us. We'll talk about the big Q105 banner bash in just a second. That ball complete on the sidelines to Calvin McCoy. A pickup of about 5 or 6. It'll be up second down. About 4 from the Ledyard Colonel 46-yard line. 15 seconds to go. They're going to have to go downfield, I would think, with the next couple of throws if they hope to get a scoring threat on the board. 15 seconds to go. The clock stopped as McCoy got out of bounds on that first down reception. Wilson back to throw. Now he's under the heat. Gets away. Looking downfield. Got a man open far sideline. Incomplete. Good defensive coverage back there by, I believe it's by Joe Williams. On Darryl Sebastian, number 15, who was back there. What's this big banner bash all about, Andy, if you can tell us real quickly?
Well, this is the first game that we're going to be at as far as the series of the Q105 Channel 36 Story Cable Great Banner Bash. Now, what we're trying to do is qualify somebody to win a limo ride to New York City for the taping of Hanging with MTV. And
let me ask you, is Madonna going to be there?
I don't think Madonna's going to be there, but
well, forget it.
Yeah.
I was going to enter it, but she's not going to be there. Forget it. Go ahead, finish up.
Now, what we do is we just let people know where we're going to be. They show up with their banner. It's going to have Q105, Story Cable Channel 36 on there with the Fall Sports Jam, and they're instantly qualified if their banner wins.
Mike Jones with the intended receiver on that pass was incomplete, and that's the end of the first half of play. Yeah, Guy?
I got Mike right here. Somebody wants to talk to him. I'll get Bill down. Bill wanted to talk to him.
All right, we are in halftime. We'll try to have Bill Donovan talk to Mike Emery for just a second. Go ahead, Bill. So at halftime, it's 7-0. The Ledyard Colonels leading it. But the Fitch Falcons playing a good ball game defensively. And Bill Donovan, you are on. Let's see if we can get to Mike and Bill on camera. And while we do, we'll tell you again that the 1992 Fall Sports Jam is a production and presentation of Story Cable of Groton, Channel 36, local origination.
To their first possession, that seems to have kept you in the ball game. Now you've got to get the offense going to complement your tough defense.
In all honesty, we didn't make any adjustments. We just told the kids to work on the same things we worked on all week, which we weren't doing on that first drive. And offensively, we did make some adjustments at the end of the half, and it seems to be working okay. If we can come back with those same kind of things, I think we can get something going in the second half.
What will you tell them going into the locker room once you get in there? What will you tell them? This is the first time we've had a coach on just before you go in at halftime.
We're just going to go over all of our assignments and go over what they're doing defensively. It's not going to be anything rah-rah. All it is a review of what our responsibilities and rules are, and then we're just going to go out and try to execute it in the second half.
Anthony Wilson, for a freshman, 15-year-old, that has looked smooth.
What can you say about Anthony? He does everything you ask of him. You're right. As a freshman, as a 15-year-old kid, he's got the poise of a 12th grader or a college freshman sometimes.
We'll catch you in the post-game show.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Head coach Mike Emery will be back with more halftime in 30 seconds. Stay with us.
It's quick. No, I mean really quick. It's easy. Easier than that. And it's the law. No, it's the law. Men register with selective service when you turn 18. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Bill Donovan at halftime. The Ledyard Colonels lead the Fitch Falcons 7-0. And with me at halftime, Ted Koziel. And Ted, I'm sure it seems a little strange for you to be here at Ledyard High School today at a football game and not being in uniform.
Oh yeah, it seems a lot different. Here with my friend Mike Twig, and we were here at pre-practice at about 12 o'clock, and things seem so much different now that we're playing at the college level. You can't really compare college to high school because high school is more meaningful, college is more serious.
What are some of the major differences with the college program? You are, by the way, at the University of Connecticut.
Yep. When you come here, it looks like they're not even hitting. At the college level, they hit really hard. I've been playing a little scout defense, and the guys up there, they're pretty big. I mean, it's a totally different game.
That's what I was going to ask you. How about the size of the players? Aren't they mammoth when you get to the college level?
Yeah, fullbacks here are, fullbacks and tailbacks are about, 160, 170 pounds. Fullback up at UConn is about 250, and a tailback's like 210. And, everyone up there is everyone is huge. You can't even compare.
Good kickers, good field goal kickers at a premium. You have been our player of the game on a number of occasions. An outstanding high school career after playing soccer, went to football, and has helped you, hopefully it's going to help you get a college education. And when are you looking forward to being the kicker, kickoff kicker, extra point kicker, and field goal kicker for the UConn Huskies?
Well, right now I'm sitting third on the depth chart in about 6 or 7 guys. The kicker they have now, Nick Sosik's a really good kicker. He could be going pro in a couple of years. He's a junior now. And I'm a redshirt freshman, so chances are maybe 2 years or so I could be getting some time.
Now, as a redshirt freshman, do you dress for any of the home games? And I understand from talking to your mother at school that you do not travel with the team to the away games?
Yeah, we dress for for every game except for the away games. They don't bring the redshirt freshmen on the squad because they don't, the fundings and all that. It's just too much money to bring an extra 30 guys. But we dress up for the games, and there's a couple freshmen that are getting playing time, but there's only like 2 or 3.
As a young football player just out of high school, I'm sure that your heart is still with the Ledyard Colonels. It's been a good ball game today. The Colonels marched 72 yards on their first possession, but both defenses have shirted up, and we've got a tight ball game here. Your thoughts on the first half of play, Ted?
Well, Ledyard Williams is he's running pretty hard today. Joe Jones, and they're mixing it up there. So figured if they keep the ball moving in the second half, you know, they'll have no problem winning this game.
I'm going to put you in the shoes of Anthony Wilson right now. We're in number 7 today, only 15 years old. You're a freshman in college. He's a freshman in high school. He's playing varsity quarterback. Don't have too many freshman varsity quarterbacks in the history of the area.
No, I want to say, you know, that kid's got a lot of guts to come out here and play varsity football against guys that are 3 or 4 years older than him. You know, I want to give him a thumbs up for that. It takes a lot of guts for him to come out here, and I'm sure he's doing a heck of a job for Fitch today.
We are always welcome when we come to Ledyard High School to do basketball games or football games, and just some of your thoughts as to how it's been to play for head coach Bill Mignault.
Mr. Mignault's a great guy. You know, during the off season we got together this summer, we did a little golf, and I don't want to say who won over TV, but he had a good game. But I don't know, he's a really great guy, and you know, he helps you keep your grades up, and he can open up a lot of doors for you in the future.
So he's more than a coach and more than an athletic director.
Yeah, he's kind of like a father to everyone on the team.
Okay, that's Ted Koziel, former extra point kicker, field goal kicker at Ledyard High School, now a member of the University of Connecticut football team. Redshirted this year as a freshman, but we'll be hearing from him as their season goes on and as the future of the Yukon Husky football team hopefully starts to match the Yukon Husky basketball prowess.
Oh yeah, we're hoping to go Division I in a couple of years. We're going to play some big games against Navy. I think we're playing Navy in '94. We're going to play Temple, and we're hoping to get into the Big East by '96.
Our best to you, and you were a little concerned before we started today, but you did a great job with the interview, Ted.
Oh, thanks.
From Ledyard High School, the score at halftime, the Ledyard Colonels 7, Fitch Falcons nothing. We'll be back with more halftime from Ledyard High School in 60 seconds. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Michael McDevitt, General Manager of Michael Chrysler Plymouth. That was then, this is now. Here at Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu, we're proud to announce that Isuzu has been added to our dealership. Did you know Isuzu is the oldest truck and car manufacturer in Japan? And now you're number 1 Isuzu dealer in Southeastern Connecticut. What a combination. It should yours be?
This is what we do.
Swimmer away.
Every day in the Coast Guard. Battling the elements to save lives is just one of the real missions we tackle.
Swimmer checking victim. Coming up.
Be part of the action in the Coast Guard. Call now toll-free.
Gerard Toyota BMW in New London, the largest Toyota BMW facility in the Northeast, wants to meet you. With over 100 BMWs and 300 Toyota cars and trucks in stock and a team of 20 knowledgeable salespeople, Gerard is working harder to become your new car dealer. Flexible payment plans make buying easier, and 15 factory-trained service technicians keep your car running like new. Gerard Toyota BMW, New London, where we compete and you win.
Work day and his school day at Yukon, but we'll talk about that as the game develops. A couple of gentlemen here with me that were involved with the Nutmeg baseball team this summer, and also know Anthony Wilson very well, and they've been involved in youth sports in the Mystic Groton area for a number of years, Frank Villazante and Steve Dodge. So I'll be talking to them as the Ledyard Colonel Band is playing in the background. Steve, why don't we go with you? The thing that's incredible, and you know, I've got a son that's 14, and Frank's got a son that's 14 going on 15, and when you think of a kid that hasn't played football in a couple of years, and the last time He played active football, was in a youth football program, and to be what I feel to be the quarterback of probably what's going to be one of the better football programs in the area, to be a quarterback today and doing a respectable job.
Yeah, Anthony's quite an athlete. I've known him for about the last 4 years, and 2 years ago he led Groton Mystic Youth Football to the Super Bowl championship, and he was 5 days too old to play last year, so he had to sit out. And he's doing a remarkable job. He was started off as their safety in the beginning of the year, and now he's got moved to quarterback because of the injury to Ross Hartman.
And Frank Villasante at the pool at the end of Plainville this summer when we were playing nutmeg games, and Anthony Wilson was one of the kids in the pool, and I wasn't familiar with it until you brought it up today. Steve Niffen and our kids out at the pool, and Anthony Wilson, one of the kids there. And again, it's not the Anthony Wilson Day here on Story Cable 36, but it is the story of the day. He's a young kid that is doing a good job. Mike Emery on the interview talked about he's very pleased with the way things are going. And your thoughts on his first half of football as the quarterback for the Fitch Falcons?
Well, you know, as the viewing public saw, Anthony was showing a little inexperience at that position. And like Steve mentioned, he hasn't played ball in a couple of years. But he brings a lot of enthusiasm each time he steps onto the field, and it's just going to be a matter of time before Anthony is really going to be probably the standout quarterback in the area.
Both of you gentlemen involved in sports, you saw the first half of the ball game. The Ledyard Colonels on their first possession, maybe before the Fitch Falcons into the game mentally, marched 72 yards for the score. Extra point was good, 7-0. Both teams made the adjustments defensively. What do you expect? Let's go with the Fitch Falcons. What do you expect them to do, Steve Dodge, in the second half to try to get some points on the board and keep that Ledyard offense under control?
I think the Falcons have to open up a little bit. Anthony threw the ball quite well for the first game, and a couple of receivers just missed a couple of his passes. So I expect them to open it up maybe a little bit and surprise the Colonels that way.
And Frank, the same question to you. You've seen this pretty even ball game with the exception of one possession. What do you think the teams will do adjustment-wise in the second half of play?
Well, I tend to agree with Steve on his thoughts about opening the game up a little bit. You know, I thought initially when Fitch took the field, you know, a number of running plays initially, and then Coach Emery started opening it up. Groton, you know, there were a couple of balls that were thrown to him that perhaps, you know, if they're in the same vicinity the second half, he's going to catch the ball and he can make some noise from those spots.
Can we expect each team to use the wind to their advantage as a factor here in the second half? Up in the booth, you don't feel the wind as much as you do down here, but you see the flag blowing in the background. Both quarterbacks can't throw the ball, but it may be a factor, Steve.
Oh, definitely will be a factor. And at one point, Fitch hasn't really established a kicker yet, and the Colonels supposedly have somebody that's going to do field goals because they attempted one in the first half, and maybe the wind will help them for points there.
And Frank, again, both quarterbacks can throw the ball. A little bit of a wind down here on the field. Falcons are behind. The Colonels have held them pretty well on the ground. So if they have to go to the air, they're going to have to try to go to the air when they've got the wind at their back.
Oh, without a doubt. The amount of wind that's down here right now definitely is going to influence the outcome of the game. You know, especially from, you know, the starting point, you know, after a punt and kickoffs, things of that nature.
Okay, back with more halftime. The Fitch Falcons trail the Ledyard Colonels 7-0. We'll be back at Ledyard High School in 60 seconds. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Michael McKeever, General Manager of Michael Chrysler Plymouth. That was then, this is now. Here at Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu, we're proud to announce that Isuzu has been added to our dealership. Did you know Isuzu is the oldest truck and car manufacturer in Japan? And now we're your #1 Isuzu dealer in Southeastern Connecticut. What a combination. But should your Isuzu need servicing, our mechanics are the best in the area. Come in and see the all-new Rodeo, the Isuzu Trooper, Impulse, and more. Experience the Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu difference.
John Gerbeck prefers to dance to MTV at home because, as you can see, he's incredibly shy.
3 and go!
Every morning, Sarah Nealand works out in the privacy of her home.
1, 2,
Because,
3,
well,
lift up.
would you do this
1,
in public?
2, 3, squeeze with the chest. 1, 2.
Along with their manager, Fitch Duncan. So the winning 50-50 raffle ticket. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Number 216237. This winning is large enough that you'll have to report it to the IRS.
Gerard Toyota BMW in New London, the largest Toyota BMW facility in the Northeast, wants to meet you. With over 100 BMWs and 300 Toyota cars and trucks in stock and a team of 20 knowledgeable salespeople, Gerard is working harder to become your new car dealer. Flexible payment plans make buying easier, and 15 factory-trained service technicians keep your car running like new. Gerard Toyota BMW, New London, where we compete and you win.
I turn the lights down low, curl up in my chair,
Pull my blanket to my chin. I feel like going somewhere.
I feel like laughing, I feel like crying,
Little romancing, so satisfying. Store a cable,
you make me feel.
store a cable, we make you feel at home.
We are back at Ledyard High School. Sam Gingerella, Bill Bobo Donovan, and Guy Mazzarella downstairs, filling in for Jack Big Mac McDonald. And gentlemen, it's a 7-0 score at halftime. Fitch Falcons hanging right in this thing, but they've got to get something done offensively in order to really put any kind of pressure on the Colonels.
Guy?
Bo?
Well, I agree with you, Sam. And I just think that with the quality of the two coaches that we have today, with the quality of the two coaches that we have today, I am sure that they will make the adjustments that they feel necessary to try to move the ball. Colonels with a 7-point lead have that advantage. Mike Emery, again, did come on camera prior to going into the locker room to begin the halftime, and he's satisfied with what's going on. He just wants to reassure his team they're doing a good job, and they've got to get Sam and Guy both. They've got to put together a possession where they can march down, get a few first downs, and move the ball, and hopefully get a score. On the other hand, Ledyard Colonel, according to what Guy told me, Bill Mignault has some changes planned for the second half, but wasn't going to divulge them, so we'll just have to wait and see how it unfolds.
Sam, usually what Coach Bill does when we go down into the locker room, we kind of brainstorm the thing, and then we'll make minor changes, or they will make minor changes in blocking.
Down here, okay? Here we go. Down here, white.
And they'll make minor changes in assignments.
Down here, okay?
All right.
Kick down, little kick down.
Mazzarella, thank you very much. The Ledyard Colonels will be receiving the second half kick. And we'd like to thank Andy Miller. Andy Miller, who was here at halftime judging those Q105 Channel 36 big banners. And hopefully we'll have the names of the winners or the winning entry prior to us going off the air. Ledyard Colonel huddle.
Fitch Falcons should have the ball to start off the third quarter of play, and they will have the wind once again in their faces. So they'll have the wind advantage in the fourth quarter.
I'd like to remind our viewers that Michael Chrysler Plymouth, 425 Broad Street, New London, the all-new 1993 Chrysler Concorde is in. This brand new vehicle is in stock and available for demonstration. The 1993 Chrysler Concorde LH Series. Ride the future at Michael Chrysler Plymouth, 425 Broad Street, New London. That's 447-0391.
And Sam, the Ledyard Colonels, if they want to take advantage of that wind, will have to use it here in the third quarter, as Tom Bingham has thrown the ball a number of occasions. Look at one of our fans here on Star Cable 36.
Kind of a breezy, chilly day. Feels like November. Darren Carter will get into the football, and we'll be underway second half. 7-0, Colonels leading it. This is a short kick picked up by the up man. I believe that's Chris Connolly, number 77.
The reaction of Darren, it doesn't look like that was planned.
No, I didn't think so either. It didn't look like a planned onside kick. Nonetheless, that's about what it was, and the Falcons will have it 1st and 10. Great field position for them at their own 42-yard line.
Falcons in the first half got down, I believe, as close to the Ledyard Colonel 30-yard line or thereabouts, so that this is good field position for them to start off the second half.
All right. Falcons will start it off. Anthony Wilson, their freshman quarterback, filling in for the injured Hartman, Ross Hartman. And he turns and hands it off to number 31, Mike Jones, with a good carry. Picked up about 6 or 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 at the midfield stripe. There's a good shot of old Mike Jones, number 31, a 5'8", 170-pound sophomore. This is a young football team that Mike Emery has carved out for himself. And I think the Fitch program looking pretty good right now in his first year. They're going to run the option again. Pitches it out. The far sideline, bouncing off a tackler or two, is Versan Crawford. And he's going to be hit out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of the Ledyard Colonels, and I believe he'll have a 1st down.
And Guy, a little trap blocking in the middle for the first play, that time running for the 1st down around the ends.
Right, and one of the things I've happened to notice about Fitch is their splits are very small, so that tends to cause problems for the guy that's trying to pull if somebody gets driven back off the line of scrimmage. They might want to look at opening their splits a little bit up to get a little more room to work.
And Sam, Guy talks football.
He sure do. A handoff and eaten alive, just almost able to get the handoff there. It's Dan Whittle, number 55, on Versan Crawford. Not much running room that time, and as a matter of fact, Dan Whittle almost had himself a handoff in the backfield there. Was there a mix-up on that play, Guy, or was that just Whittle getting across?
No, they had a cross stunt on. We call that's a cross stunt. That's what we'd call it. Linebacker, the down lineman goes one way, and the linebacker comes in the other. And Dan is real quick off the ball, and if you don't catch him right at the initial step, he's by you.
So it'll be 2nd down and 12. Back to throw is Wilson. Loops it down the middle. Man is open, but a good defensive play.
He almost tapped that ball up into the air into a Fitch Falcons.
Yes, he did. That was number 48, Gary Pendleton back there, who, you're right, almost tipped it in the air, and it was almost caught by another Falcon. It was intended for, there you see Mike Jones, number 31, deep downfield on the circle route for the halfback.
One observation I've had of Wilson's passing, you two think about it, man is open, he's lofting as opposed to firing the ball. If he fires the ball, the guy's open, they got the reception.
3rd down now and 12 for the Falcons.
That play there, he had to loft the ball over Darren Carter's outstretched hand, so that added to it.
Again, looking to throw the football. Now a fumble by Wilson.
Got it back.
And he did get it back, but he lost yardage back to his own 45-yard line. So a loss of almost 10 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation for the Fitch Falcons with 9:52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Ledyard Colonels now will get the ball for the first time in the 2nd half, leading 7-0.
And there will be a time in the Fitch Falcons' future where having their quarterback also being the punter will give them another dimension where they can run the ball on 4th down. Sam, no banners. You look at the banners and not the girls.
That's what I'm looking at. I was just admiring one of the Q105 big banner bash things out there.
Yeah, right.
All righty. Here's the kick from Wilson, picked up by
48.
Gary Pendleton. Excuse me. Having trouble picking up the number. It's so bright today that it's Sometimes the numbers tend to blur on you as the bright autumn sunshine splashes off those jerseys. Colonels will have it 1st and 10, their own 36-yard line, and a 7-0 lead.
And we'll see what kind of adjustments head coach Bill Mignault has called for his Ledyard offense here in the second half. They lead at 7-0.
You take a look, you can notice the difference in the splits between the Ledyard line and the Fitch line.
Look at that.
A quick out pass and now a completion down the sidelines to Bidro Williams. And they say he stepped out of bounds at the Fitch Falcon 42-yard line.
Pretty play.
Yeah, it's called the Roberts Special, named after Mark Roberts, who played here a couple years back.
A little trivia.
There you go.
And when I said Guy talked football, that was a compliment. When I was hearing him describe that play, it reminded me of talking to Donnie Burkell from Waterford High School, because he talks basketball.
All right. 9:03 to go. Third quarter. 1st and 10 Colonels. Starting at 42. On that little counter tray action, Joe Jones with the carry and pretty good yardage before Chris Blond came across from his defensive end position to make the stop.
They use crossbuck blocking on that play.
Is that like the old counter tray the Washington Redskins use, basically?
Similar to it, we just don't pull as many people.
Yeah, they pull everybody, don't they?
Yeah.
Jim Lachey and company, that's like pulling like 3 guards in a high school.
Student body right and left.
Yeah. 8:33 to go. Third quarter, 7-0. Ledyard Colonels leading it here over the Fitch Falcons. Been a defensive struggle. Bidro Williams with the carry again. He has the only touchdown of the ball game from 5 yards out. I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
Sounded like a wounded buffalo or something.
And what I was thinking is
one of the offensive linemen down here.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking is, talking about the football game for a second.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is that Ledyard Colonels can score on this possession. Fitch Falcons are in serious trouble. So the defense has got to come through once again for the Falcons, or the Ledyard Colonels are going to have mustard all over Bobo's face.
3rd down and about 5. Remember, is the pass incomplete.
Intercepted.
And it's picked off.
Number 8.
Picked off by number 8 defensively for the Fitch Falcons and run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That's Ray Brown, number 6. When you said 8, you threw me off, Guy, but number 6 is Ray Brown, the safety, and he picks it off. That ball overthrown, intended for Carter, and incomplete, and then picked off by Ray Brown. And the Fitch Falcons back in good field position across their own 46-yard line. Here's Ray Brown coming to the sidelines, being congratulated by the coaching staff. And again, the Falcon defense comes up with the big play, even though Guy Mazzarella says he saw those turkey vultures circling the field earlier on.
They're not here now, though, if you look around.
And Guy, I've got this comment for you. First possession for the Ledyard Colonels, they moved 72 yards, no problem, touchdown. Since that point, they really haven't gone with that same offensive show.
Yeah, Fitch has shut down the inside traps and stuff on them, and that's what they made all that yardage on, was inside traps, a couple to the outside. And Fitch has adjusted to that and shut it down, and now they're trying to get outside on them.
And we had a penalty on the run back, so 15 yards. They'll bring it back on the clip to the 30-yard line. Mike Jones gets the carry, and Mike Jones just lowers the shoulder. Excuse me, that's Crawford. Lowers the shoulder and picks up an extra couple, about 8 yards on the carry.
A couple of nice blocks on the corner right there.
So it'll be 2nd down and 2. Excuse me, Guy.
No,
Go ahead.
A couple of nice blocks on the corner there, one by the back and a pulling lineman. They opened the hole up pretty good. They got to keep that up.
2nd down, 2 for the Falcons. Looking for the equaling score. And then this is Crawford the other way. This time short yardage. Number 33 is Jeremy Stein getting up off the bottom of the stack first. We'll credit him with the stop.
Sam, what I'm looking for is to find out where Ray Brown, what year he's in, number 6, because he showed some good quickness when he intercepted that ball.
7 minutes even.
Okay.
Here in the 3rd quarter. Ball just outside or just across the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. And this is Rashawn Crawford trying to get outside. Now he's got some running room. Dipsy-do at the 45 across midfield to the 49-yard line. Nice looking run by Rashawn Crawford. And have the Fitch Falcons found a weakness in that Ledyard Colonel defense? It looks like they're getting the corners now.
Yeah, and it looks like they seem to be getting it on the left side of their offensive line, and that'd be the right of the Colonel's line.
So another first down for the Fitch Falcons, and they penetrated Colonel territory again, just at the 49-yard line. This is the up back. The big fullback, Greg Davis, number 33. Nice running room. And now we've got a flag on the play. Looked like we had some extracurricular activity involving number 15 for the Fitch Falcons. That would be Darryl Sebastian, and one of the deep backs.
And number 48.
48 would be Gary Pendleton. So they had words, and I guarantee it wasn't let's meet for dinner after.
And it looks like the penalty's going to be called against the Fitch Falcons. I started to say that they haven't really had a sustained drive yet. This had been one, but that penalty's going to hurt them.
That really is what to call a drive killer.
And I understand that we will be going down to the field fairly soon. Andy Miller, Guy Mazzarella, they'll be presenting the winning banner. And if you're looking for the sword, Sam, it's under here. I'm protecting the Colonel Ledyard sword.
Okay, we're going to show that when we deliver the trophy after the football game.
All kinds of responsibilities and...
wow, huh?
Now, Sam, what Fitch has to do now is regroup after that penalty.
That was an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Darryl Sebastian. He got into it with Gary Pendleton. And evidently Sebastian in the wrong. They march off 15, second down, 25. Is Mike Jones being chased to the outside. They string it out and run him down at the 45-yard line.
And Sam, I've seen several games this year, a couple of our TV games. We have not had much scoring this year
no, we haven't.
in our football games.
Steve Reardon is the guy that made the stop for the Colonels, number 57.
There she goes again. There she goes, walking in her coat.
You're talking about the...
young lady with the corduroy jacket. You keep watching.
Excuse
keep
me?
your eyes on the field.
Excuse me?
Keep your eyes on the field.
Down.
7-0. Colonels lead the Falcons.
And Wilson will put it up. Making up these stories down there. Here's Mike Jones with the reception and a first down. Great catch by Jones. And a nice throw by Wilson. Jason Smith on the stop. But Mike Jones just went up after that football. A case of Smith really being turned around at the wrong time there, Guy.
Yeah, that pass was good at the start, but it turned it into a flutter at the end. And he was able to out-jump the defender and catch the ball for make up for that penalty they got before.
Yep, and it's a first down and 10 for the Falcons inside the Colonel 35. And here's Vershawn Crawford. Crawford with some running one. One man to beat on the sidelines, finally knocked down at the 8-yard line. Then the Fitch Falcons offense suddenly has come to life here in their second possession of the third quarter, and it's first and goal Falcons. Guy.
Yeah, like I said, this left side of the Fitch Falcon line is where they want to run. 33 just put a heck of a block on a Ledyard player to block, open that hole so you could drive a truck through it.
That was Greg Davis, number 33, 5'11", 175, a junior, out of the backfield with a key block, and Crawford gets it inside the 10. The up back, and that's Greg Davis, 33 for the score. And we're on the verge of a tie football game, and Davis made it look easy. How do you do?
After that block, he deserved to carry the ball in.
Greg Davis, who made a key block on the prior carry by Crawford, gets the call and the touchdown, and the Falcons are within 1 point. And I understand, yes, I do have the wrong name. Greg Drab, excuse me. Number 33 is Greg Drab. I don't know why I have Davis there. Greg Drab, excuse me. Mr. and Mrs. Drab, it was not on purpose. Here's Drab again. And he's got the 2-point conversion, and the Falcons go up by 1.
That was number 35 brought in there.
Oh, excuse me, Crawford. Vershawn Crawford with the extra point. And just like that,
I think the Falcons have found out that the right side of the Colonel's defense right now is the weaker side. They're running away from the middle.
And there you see the happy sidelines as the Fitch Falcons have now come back to taking the lead. And how do you do, Bill Donovan?
And what they showed that time was a lot of character, Guy and Sam. They had the interception by Ray Brown, ran it back, had the big penalty, came back, got the first down, and they go for the touchdown.
So it's 8-7. There's your score. The Fitch Falcons lead it by a point. And we'd like to remind our viewers that the 92 Sports Fall Jam is a production and a presentation of Stora Cable of Groton, Channel 36, local origination production. And I hope I got it right that time, Cliff. 4:37 to go.
You know you did because he's not yelling and screaming at us.
Yeah. Well, you see, our viewers can't hear all that.
1 out of 3
all
is
these things that go on in the background here, you know. 4:37 to go. Here in the third quarter, we've got a brand new football game. The Fitch Falcons lead it by 1, 8-7. And here comes the kickoff.
Reverse.
I'll go with the reverse. This is Joe Jones. A nice return by Joey. Crossed the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
So the Fitch Falcons had unofficially 2 first downs on that touchdown drive, which I have unofficially only their 4th of the game, so that a big series for them. That's what they needed with the new quarterback, is to get a sustained drive with a touchdown. Now it's all downhill or uphill from here.
And you saw moments ago number 34 coming off on the special teams. How do you like this for a name? Mooch Corbett. I like it.
Mooch.
That is
He's
a football name. Mooch.
Mooch.
Mooch Corbett, number 34. I like that. On the special teams for the Fitch Falcons. Here's the handoff to Wilson. And Williams is he just disappeared under the front wall of those Fitch Falcons.
Fitch is fired up.
I would say so. 77, Gene Connolly. 59, Mark Smars. Jeff Irema. Okay.
Irema.
I'll get it.
As I tell you, I was singing at the wedding last week.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They told me to keep my daytime job.
You were the talk of the town after singing at the wedding. Back to throw. Bingham looking downfield. Pendleton is there, and it's great defensive play by Sebastian. Darryl Sebastian was beaten by a step. The ball just a tad underthrown. Allowed Sebastian to get his paw on it and knock it away.
And a little hurry there. Number 65 was in Tommy Bingham's face.
That's Jeff Uremia.
And I'll tell you, I like high school football teams that throw the ball. Anybody that's listened to me over the last 10 years knows that. And that, if you're going to beat the Northern High School Whalers, is what you have to do. You got to be able to throw the ball, open up the running game, catch the ball, and that's how you beat the Whalers. If you can beat them.
All right. 3rd down and 12. They'll go with the short pass. Incomplete. Intended on the far sideline by Joe Williams. But I tell you what, Chris Vaughn had dropped off from his defensive end position and was right there. That ball, just a question of not being able to throw it where he wanted it, because had he done that, Chris Vaughn might have had a pickoff.
So I saw 2 assistant New London coaches at that East Lyme Killingly game last night, Joe McNeil and Tommy Majors. Are looking forward to seeing us next week. And also, Tommy Majors says it's not over till they get in the state championship game.
All right. So here's the kick by Carter. A nice driving kick, forcing the Falcon return men deep. And now they're going to just let it go dead right at the 20-yard line, as both of the Falcon deep backs, number 15 was Sebastian, and Brian Hopkins, number 81, had trouble catching up with that thing, and very wisely just allowed it to go dead at the 20-yard line.
On that last series, it looked like Ledyard was out of sync. They kind of lost their composure after that touchdown, and just operated a little bit too quickly. They didn't settle in and take some time between plays.
This would be quite an upset here if the Fitch Falcons can hold on to this lead, Bo Donovan.
Well, there's still plenty of time. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Falcons lead it by 1 point, but plenty of time left.
And here comes Crawford, Rasan Crawford. They run that same sweep to the near side, but this time the Colonels defensed it well. That is Jason Smith coming up from his cornerback position to make the stop.
And Sam, you've got the master across the field wearing the blue with his arms crossed.
Yeah, that's Bill Mignault.
Whenever he's there, he's the master, the dean of the local coaches, along with Jim Unicorn, Northern High School Whalers, and others. But the game's not over, still plenty of time.
So it'll be 2nd down now and about 13 to go. Ball just outside the 15-yard line. Here's Mike Jones. Jones gets back the loss on the play, but not much more than that, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 passing situation. You know, October is a great month for anyone looking for a new or used car, and Charter Oak Federal Credit Union is now offering excellent financing terms and Auto Easy, where you can call toll-free for assistance with final negotiations in your car purchase. So call 1-800-969-0282. That's 1-800-969-0282. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union. Call 446-8085 for more information. Back to throw, and under the gun is Wilson. He's going to be sacked, and that'll bring up a 4th down, and the Falcon special teams will have to come on and kick it out of there.
Once again, Tommy Whittle was in there on the thing. Danny Whittle was in on the tackle line.
And we've called his number a number of times.
And I've also got to say this about Mike Emery and his coaching staff. Mike has my utmost respect because I think he gets as much out of his players as any coach in the area. And whenever Mike Emery has a football program, he's got 8, 9, 10 coaches that jump in and help out. So that 2 outstanding coaching staffs here today.
Anthony Wilson standing right on the goal line to get the punt away, and he'll boot it into the wind. It'll be returnable. This is Bydro Williams at the 40. Down close to the 35, we'll call it the 36-yard line. Great field position for the Fitch Falcons. Excuse me, the Ledyard Colonels. I've got the Fitch Falcons on the brain.
That's okay.
So it'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Ledyard Colonels, trailing by 1 here with 1:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And in just a few moments, I'm told that we're going to have the announcement of the winner of the Big Banner Bash for this week.
I think we should do it at the end of the quarter. We've got a minute left, Sam.
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. 1st down and 10. 1st and 10. This is Bydro Williams. Gets a little running room. Breaks a couple of tackles and is down about the 27-yard line. Pickup of about 4 or 5. Bring up a 2nd down, and we'll call it 6.
See, Ledyard's going back to their game plan again. Taking their time, running plays that they're real confident in, and not trying to rush the thing down the field.
They had a sustained drive in the beginning of the ball game. Looked like they were going to own it and make Bowman look bad because I said I like Fitch, and since that time they really haven't put too much of a sustained drives together at all.
And those Turkey Hawks are not anywhere to be seen. Here's Bydro Williams again. No yardage on the play. Great defense right in the hole. The point of the attack is Chris Vaughn. Number 44 comes up big and makes the stop.
And the flies are around the plaque. We'd like to remind you that the Star Cable 36 Player of the Game sponsored this week by Girard Toyota BMW in memory of David Roach.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with our Big Banner winner right after this. We'll be back at Ledyard. The score, the Ledyard, the Fitch Falcons 8, Ledyard Colonels 7, back in 60.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Okay, this is Guy Mazzarella on the sidelines with Andy Miller from Q105 for the banner contest. Take it away.
It's Q105, Store Cable Channel 36, Great Banner Bash, or the Big Banner Bash. Now, the object is to build a big banner and bash it out at the games. Now, we're going to be at various games throughout southeastern Connecticut for the area high school football competition. And the winner, the grand prize winner, receives a limo ride to New York City to be at the taping of Hanging with MTV. Now, what you have to do is you just make a banner. Can have anything on the banner. Can have MTV. Can have your high school sports team with their logo. And it's got to mention Q105 and Store Cable Channel 36 with the Fall Sports Jam on there. And you're going to receive... What are you going to receive when you got yourself a Q105 Channel 36 football jersey. No one's seen these yet. There it is. There it is. Who gets this one? By the way, our two winners are Megan and Brandy. Mandy, Brandy. Who gets that? And we got a football We got a football to boot, courtesy of Olympic Sporting Goods, Bank Street, New London. Football. You're going to hang on to the football. And 1 month of free premium cable service from Store Cable of Groton. And now you guys are qualified to win a trip to New York City in a limo to be on the set of Hanging with MTV, all right? And so you tell all your friends about this. And it's the Q105 Great Banner Bash. It's going on here. This is pretty cool. I haven't been to a football game in a long time. What's the score? Let's talk about the football game here, what's going on. But anyway, you can catch the game Monday night, 8 o'clock in its entirety on Store Cable Channel 36. And at halftime, of course, or the third quarter, you're going to be seeing it.
4th down and short. The Fitch Falcon defense trying to come up with a big stopper here. And let's see, it's going to be a 1st down. We missed the play, but thankfully we get it back in time for that key 4th and short. And Mignault Williams comes up with the 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 21-yard line.
So the Ledyard Colonels with a sustained drive. We've got just a little bit over 11 minutes left in the ball game. Falcons lead at 8-7. Colonels looking to get some more points on the board. They haven't scored since 6:50 in the first quarter, Sam.
That's right. Mignault Williams went in from 5 yards out. Back to throw is Bingham. Looks down the middle, completes that ball right in the middle of the field to, is that Pendleton? No, that's number 89 for the Fitch Falcons, for the Ledyard Colonels, Drew King. So King hauls it in. It's a 1st and goal now for the Colonels inside the 10-yard line.
And there was a pass.
So the Colonels looking to answer.
There was a pass interference play on the call, Sam.
But the ball was caught, so I believe that
they're still talking to the Colonels to see whether or not they'll get a couple more yards based on the distance to the goal line.
Yep. And while they do that, why don't we remind our viewers about watching the every Monday night at 7 o'clock, right before the 92 Fall Sports Jam, right here on Store Cable Channel 36. You can watch Q105 DJ Andy Miller, who you just saw, and the hottest music videos in town every week. See what's new in music and film. That's Wired. Every Monday night at 7.
Wired.
Right here on Store Cable 36. 1st and goal. The pitch out and Eaton alive in the backfield. The ball is loose. Let's see who has it.
Fitch, looks like Fitch from down.
It looks like the Falcons have it. They're saying to wind the clock. I haven't seen a signal yet.
Colonels.
Colonels have it. Mignault Williams somehow came up with the football back at the 15-yard line. So, boy, take a deep breath, Bill Mignault. And now we've got a timeout as an injured player. I believe that's Myron Leanna, who's injured on the play. So we've got a break in the action. 10:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. Got a good one brewing now, folks. Your score, Fitch 8, Ledyard 7, back in 30.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Back at Ledyard High School, Sam Gingerella, Billy Bobo Donovan, and Guy Mazarella on the sidelines. And that is Myron Leanna, who's being helped off now under his own power. Looks like a bad wheel, Guy.
Yeah, it looks
Did you
like,
see what happened?
Yeah, on the bottom of the pile, he might have got stepped on or something like that, but might be just a little twist or something, because he doesn't look like he's in a lot of pain. He's walking off on his own. The problem is going to be is who they put in to take Myron's place. Because this is basically Myron's first year on the line. He was one of our backups last year, and we'll have to see how the replacement does.
Goal line defense number 77 has come in from the sidelines, and that would be James Petard. So it's 2nd down now and about 15 from the 15-yard line. This is Joe Jones, right up the middle, nothing fancy. Picks up a couple, maybe three, before he's knocked back.
I would be surprised to see him run the left side of the Ledyard line without Myron in there.
So look for number 18, Nigel Williams, Joe Jones to get the call, and perhaps maybe a little play action, and look in the end zone, see if they've got anything open in there.
Come on, D, let's go now.
Pressure on the Ledyard offense, Sam.
Pitch Falcon defense looking very strong. They almost got the ball back on the first play. It was on that pitch, the ball was loose, it was on the ground, but the Colonels got it back. Now it's third down and goal. Passing for it in the end zone. Touchdown for Gary Pendleton. Touchdown for the Colonels, and they retake the lead. Great pass by Bingham, and the Colonels have the lead back. Gary Pendleton, number 48.
Myron's back in. They did just like I thought. They rolled away from the side Myron's replacement was and got the blocking they needed so that Tommy could set up and throw the ball.
Gary Pendleton from about 12 yards out for the Ledyard Colonel touchdown to make it 13-8. Still though, 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And the Colonels will go for two now. Bingham going to throw it up, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Joe Jones. 9:32, fourth quarter, excuse me.
Another Colonel on the ground.
And another injured Ledyard Colonel. So there's a break in the action with 9:32 to go here in the fourth quarter. Your score, the Ledyard Colonels 13, the Fitch Falcons 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Hey, come on! Hey, listen up. All we need is one score. Does anybody think we're not going to get it? No. Put your hands in. Let's go.
Right here, right here.
Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
All right, it'll be the Ledyard Colonels kicking off now to the Fitch Falcons with 9:32 to go. They've retaken the lead, 13-8. But only one score means could mean a Fitch Falcon victory. Here's Mike Jones on the return. Mike pokes it up across the 35 near the 40-yard line. And again, good field position for the Ledyard Colonels. And just before the break, we saw head coach Mike Emery talking to his troops, asking them if they believe they could get another score. They obviously do.
This may be their last chance, Sam, and what I've noticed too for the Fitch Falcons today, they have some quickness back there with Jones and Verson Crawford, G.Drab, and Ray Brown, and this is it.
Let's go, baby.
All right, first and 10 for the Fitch Falcons at their own 38-yard line. 9:10 to go, 13-8. Colonels leading it. On the crossbuck, this is Mike Jones showing some fancy moves, finally caught from behind. But not until he gets it into Ledyard Colonel territory. I believe Darren Carter.
Number 19 got him.
Oh, excuse me, Swansburg comes from behind to pick him up. But I tell you what, Mike Jones showing some nice moves on that play, huh?
What a great piece of running. That's probably one of the best runs I've seen all year. He zigged and zagged and was caught from behind and had a great ability to keep his momentum and his balance.
8:46, the clock rolling. Tight football game, 13-8. Ledyard leads it. And here's Verson Crawford again, trying to get outside. This time corralled after a short gain. 3 or 4 Colonels there to meet him. Jeremy Stein was there. Also for the Colonels, number 57, Steve Reardon helping out, and I believe Dan Little also over there.
And let's see if the Fitch Falcons do what Guy suggested earlier, which is to go at the right side of the Ledyard Colonel defense.
Anthony Wilson having a great game as far as being a freshman quarterback coming on and directing this Fitch Falcon offense. They go with that counter tray again, and this is Mike Jones dragging people with him down to about the 35, excuse me.
Only a sophomore.
If they can trap,
yeah, go ahead, Guy.
If they can trap down on Danny Whittle because of the kind of charge he makes across the line, they'd be able to open that middle up.
Third down, and we'll call it about 5 yards to go, just outside the Ledyard Colonel 35-yard line. Falcons trail it 13-8. Been a good football game. Wilson back to throw. Loops it near sideline. Crawford cannot handle it. That a case of his just trying to turn around and get running before he had the football. Don't you think, Bo?
One step at a time. Catch the ball. Don't worry about the footsteps. I think he heard footsteps. He had 3 Ledyard Colonel defenders on him. Heard the footsteps, and also right above his head, hands both together, and a little body talk again. Wasn't difficult, but wasn't able to come up with it.
You know, somebody's got to tell a guy that the picture that gets in the paper is when you catch the ball.
That's right.
You know, don't worry about the footsteps. Think about the picture.
The catch is what makes the footsteps possible later on. Again, back to throw under pressure. Going to be sacked. That's Whittle coming from behind again. And he had help, but Whittle is there first, number 55, to sack Anthony Wilson.
They called a double blitz then.
Yeah, Jeremy Stein was coming along with the other linebacker on that side. So the Ledyard Colonel's coming up with a big play defensively, and with 7:14 to go, they'll take over 1st and 10 in good field position at their own 46-yard line.
And another plug for our officials. Today's ball game doing a good job. A referee, Jack Barkley. The umpire, John Gomes. Linesman is Kevin Albanese. Line judge is Jim Butler. And back judge Steve Sylvester. In the timer, Diamond Rich Mallow.
All right, the handoff goes to Bydro Williams. He hurdles a couple of bodies.
Give me my slippers and my favorite chair. Hand me that remote control. I feel like going somewhere. When I feel like laughing, I feel like screaming. I gotta be shouting, I wanna be dreaming. Store cable, you make me feel. Store cable, how I wanna feel. Store cable, store. When I feel like remembering when, or discovering why. Stretching my body, or stretching my mind. When I feel like jumping up, gotta be pumping up, I wanna be dancing, feel like romancing. Store cable, you make me feel. Store cable, how I wanna feel. Store cable, we make you feel at home.
I see her. This is not a drill.
Swimmer away.
This is what we do every day in the Coast Guard. Be part of the action. Call now, toll free.
Coming up.
You're working hard to reach your dreams, saving what you can each day. Be smart about how you do it. Make sure you save the safest way. Buy bonds, U.S. savings bonds. Guaranteed returns mean you can't go wrong. They're just as safe as a Monday is long. So reach for all your dreams. Make them happen starting right now. You can reach all your dreams. It's not hard when you know how. Buy bonds, U.S. savings bonds. Buy bonds, U.S. savings bonds. Buy bonds, U.S. savings bonds.
For those who can make an engine sing, we offer a course in heavy metal. Aim high, Air Force.
Feel the anticipation. You hold it deep inside. Hold on to your seat. We're gonna take you for a ride. When it's news shaking or movie making, there's a fast breaking. There's no mistaking. Store cable, you make me feel. Store cable.
Back at Ledyard High School, there you see the measurement being applied. And the Colonel's just a little bit short, about a half a yard shy of a first down. And that first down carried by Bydro Williams. 6:40 and the clock rolling. Big defensive play that time by Dan Whittle. And he's made a number of this, this afternoon. Going for the first down was Joe Jones. And going to depend on where they mark the football, whether he got it or not. But how about a defensive guy for our player of the game? Dan Whittle's had a heck of a ball game. Oh, yeah, I know, but I mean, defensively, he's made a couple of standout plays.
That's a name we can throw in consideration. You, Guy, and I almost said Jack. You, Guy, and I will be voting toward the end of the ball game. We want to make sure with a close game like this, we do have to give everyone consideration. But the historic Cable 36 Sports Player of the Game, sponsored this week by Girard Toyota BMW, is in memory of David Roach, and we'll have him and his coach on our post-game show.
It is a first down, so it's first down and 10. 4 more tries for the Ledyard Colonels. 4 more chances to knock some time off the board and hang on to this slim 13-8 lead over the Fitch Falcons. They're going out to victory number 4. On the little trap play, it's Joe Jones, short yardage. Didn't have much room there, but squeezed out a little sliver of room before being tackled by Mike Jones. Excuse me, number 33, Greg Drab. And now we've got an injured Colonel on the field, so there's a break in the action. 5:54 to go here in the ball game, and your score, it's a tight one. Ledyard Colonels 13 and the Fitch Falcons 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality, the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
And Sam, I'd like to say I'm a member in good standing of the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
Just how good?
Well, I don't have too much money there, but I'm a member in good standing.
Oh, I was going to ask if I could have one of those car loans they're talking about, you know?
No problem.
Out of your account?
They call signature loan.
No. I want to take it out of your account.
You go in and see Barbara Patop, which was in marketing, and she'll send you down to the right people because you need special consideration when you go in there.
All I have to know is I know where your bank account is. That's right. All right?
Well,
3rd down and short. Here's Bydro Williams. He's going to pick it up. 1st and 10.
You got a flag in the line area.
30. Yeah, you're right. And this could be a key penalty if it goes against the Colonels. And it looks like it's going to. It's going to be a holding call. And this will be very, very key because instead of 1st and 10, it's inside the 30. They'll bring it 15 yards back the other way, and it'll be 3rd and long. And this maintains the Falcons' viability as far as getting back in the football game.
And that will show you, or did show you, what Bydro Williams can do when a hole is opened up. But very often what happens is when there is a hold or a clip, that's why the runner ends up getting the big gain because of the penalty that happened.
I'd like to remind everyone the 92 Fall Sports Jam is a production and presentation of Stora Cable of Groton, Channel 36, local origination production. 3rd down after the penalty and about 16 yards to go from the Colonel, from the Fitch Falcon 49-yard line. Bingham and company. Under the gun is Bingham. The short little screen pass to Joe Jones is wide open. Let's see if he can get a 1st down. Yes, he does. Joe Jones breaks 2 tackles and picks up a 1st. Big, big play by Joe Jones.
That was a middle screen.
And that's about as well executed a screen pass as you will ever see. He had about 1,000 blockers in front of him.
And they anticipated the big rush by the Falcons. The Falcons threw everybody into that going after the quarterback, and Joe Jones had a field day and picks up a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Big play for the Colonels. And now we're down to 4:26 to go. Colonels in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 21. Bydro Williams, short yardage.
Colonels have put together a sustained drive. They're taking 4 or 5 minutes off the clock. Well, 4 minutes right now off the clock, which would put pressure on that Fitch Falcon offense, even if they get the ball again.
That's Ledyard football.
Chris Overton, I believe number 78 in the football game, made the stop for the Fitch Falcons on the last play. Pickup of 2, it'll be second down and about 8. Colonel's trying to run out the clock, maybe get an insurance touchdown here. And here's Joe Jones. He's been a little bit more active here in this final drive. Picks up about 3 or 4 down to about the 15 and leaves the Colonels with 3rd and 3.
That play they just ran is one we borrowed from Montville.
Well, thank you, Montville Indians. And next week, Sam and I and the rest of our broadcast crew will be at Pat Canamella Field in New London as these Ledyard Colonels take on the number 2 ranked in the state of Connecticut, New London High School Whalers.
That ought to be an interesting football game. Maybe the Colonels are looking by this Fitch game. Do you think there's any possibility of that?
No, Bill wouldn't let that happen, would he, Guy?
No, no way at all. That'd be the first thing you talk to them about.
All right, now we've got an official timeout. What do we got on the field? Officials blew the whistle, and a delay of game call against the Ledyard Colonels. So that's just a lapse, a mental lapse on the part of the Colonels, and that'll cost them 5 big yards. And in this kind of territory, those yards are tough to come by, Bill.
Colonels had a couple of mistakes in the ball game. One of them ended up costing them a touchdown, but they still lead it 13-8 with 3 minutes, 2 seconds left in the ball game. They scored on their first possession. Then they came back on a nice executed pass play from Tom Bingham to Pendleton in the end zone on that play-action play that I called, by the way. You didn't mention that. In the end zone, Pendleton scored the second touchdown. Yeah, okay,
Well,
Cliff.
you know, if I don't give you credit, I know you will. But they're down in
Be
about
nice.
10. 3rd and 9. Again, they go over the middle. For Pendleton, he's open. Touchdown. The same play they called on the previous touchdown to Pendleton that gave him the lead. Pendleton gets open again. Same spot. Same result. Colonel touchdown. And that should just about wrap it up. And a lot of the Fitch folks down below are headed toward the exits. Disappointed, but nonetheless, the Fitch Falcons really put up a struggle here in the second half of this football game. After trailing 7-0, they came back in the 3rd quarter, took the lead 8-7, and now 2 touchdown passes for Tom Bingham to Gary Pendleton. And just like that, the Falcons, the Colonels now walking in with what looks like an easy victory as Bydro Williams goes over for the 2-point conversion to make it 21-8. And the score is certainly not indicative of the way this one has been played. So there's a break in the action, 2:56 to go here in the 4th and final period. And your score from Ledyard High School, the Colonels 21 and the Fitch Falcons 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back at Fitch High School, the ensuing kickoff. Here's Chris Vaughn. Big number 44 takes it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Stopped there by 21, Sean Lowe.
Sean Lowe on the stop, 2:50 to go in this football game. Gonna be a big disappointment for Mike Emery and the Fitch Falcons, as they actually had the lead not too long ago. Now they find themselves fading fast and trailing 21-8.
Well, the Fitch Falcons now are forced to go to the air. If they can get a quick score, we've still got a ball game. If they don't score, then as you said, the game is over. And I think I like the Ledyard Colonels now.
I think the Colonels are going to pin your earbacks and go for it now. We know it's pass situation, so they're going to be going.
And also a freshman quarterback. Wilson under the gun, gets away from the rush, makes a nice move on Schwartzberg to the outside. He's got a first down. I tell you what, Whittle's caught up with him, but old number 7, Anthony Wilson, he's going to be heard from in this league. He's only a freshman. He got out of there and got himself a first down. Great carry.
What a move.
He was actually slowed up by one of his own backs. 36, he ran into 36 and had to bounce off him.
That's right. First and 10. Wilson again back to throw. Loops it far sideline, incomplete. Intended for Calvin McCoy. Well, at Girard Toyota BMW, all the 93 lines are in, including the 1993 Toyota Corolla with its all-new body style. If you're in the market for a 93 Camry, they're just off the trucks. With over 10 truckloads of new 93 in stock, Girard Toyota BMW is in a position to offer you huge savings. Girard Toyota BMW for 543 Coleman Street, New London, 447-3141. No surprise here, gonna go deep, and boy, that's a rainmaker. That's almost like a punt and almost intercepted, almost caught by Sebastian. But that ball was just thrown up for grabs.
A mistake a lot of football players make. My feeling is that what you do is you get a guy in the open, give him the ball, and let him one-on-one try to beat the defender. That time, just a Hail Mary pass, maybe a little bit too soon. They had a second down that time in 10. Move it up, keep the ball. This may be the last time you have it unless you can score right away.
2:08 to go, third down, still 10 yards to go for the Fitch Falcons at their own 45-yard line. Wilson, short pass this time, incomplete. As they flooded the right side of the field, they tried to drag McCoy in behind the decoys. But that ball just not thrown very well, poorly thrown pass the time.
And the big play of the ball game, Guy and Sam, that well-executed screen pass that got him the first down, that long yardage, and took it in from there for the touchdown.
The middle screen to Jones.
Yep.
I'll tell you, Ledyard played their ball game in the second half. The smash mouth, toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose,
in your
blank
face.
it out.
And they'll go with the quarterback draw. This is Wilson. Wilson's going to have a first down and more. Wilson cuts it back. He'll have himself a touchdown. Anthony Wilson on the quarterback draw. Goes 55 yards for a score with 1:52 to go. No flags. He did not step out. That's a touchdown. And Anthony Wilson, the freshman, goes 55 yards.
And I will say this right now on October the 17th, he will not be a quarterback when he's a senior. He's too good. Too good of a running back.
Maybe.
He'd be wasted as a quarterback.
So Anthony Wilson lights up the crowd with a 55-yard touchdown run.
Like I said, game's not over yet. They come back with a quick score. We'll see an onside kick in a little while.
And they'll go for two. 21-14 is the score. Going for two here means they don't have to later on. And G.Drab is in. Drab gets over from 2 yards out to make it 21-15. And that means a touchdown would give the 21-16, excuse me. That means a touchdown, even without the extra point, would give the Falcons a victory. So 1:52 to go. Everybody in the ball yard's looking for an onside kick from the Falcons.
1:52 left. Fitch Falcons, defense, special teams will have to come into play here. We know what the Ledyard Colonels are going to do. They're going to get the ball, and they're going to grind it out, use up the clock, and try to preserve the victory. Great ball game.
I'll tell you what, if the Falcons come back and win this, we got to give consideration to Anthony Wilson for the player of the game.
Already in my mind.
And if not, Tom Bingham looks good because he's not thrown.
Or Pendleton.
Or Pendleton, you're right.
Let's go now, let's go. Let's go.
And also 55, Bingham. 55, Whittle.
Yep.
4 or 5 outstanding efforts. Good team effort by both teams, by the way.
And you notice the Ledyard Colonels have their key ball handlers up close to the...
sure hands people.
Yep, sure hands people. We got Darren Carney, we got Pendleton, we got Joe Jones. And on the far side, who's that? Is that Bedro Williams on the far side?
Bydro.
Bydro on the far side.
Not B-E-E, B-Y. And Sam, the thing that keeps going through my mind, as everybody knows, I teach high school. He's only a freshman out there playing with men.
Yep. Well, I don't know about men.
Well, 17, 18 years old.
Older young men. How's that?
3 and 4 year guys older. That's a big maturity factor.
And here's the ensuing kick. It's handled beautifully up in the front wall by number 30 for the Ledyard Colonels, and that's Chris Whittle, Dan's little brother. So he handles it. And the Ledyard Colonels will try to out this clock now with 1:51 to go. Falcons. Of course, if you're the Falcons, you're going after the football, or at least make him go 3 downs and out.
Falcon defense are going to have to be tough and try to use a timeout timely so that they don't let the Ledyard Colonels use that 30 seconds in between plays.
And we know that Mike Emery's a master of that clock. We remember some of the ball teams he had up in Montville when they went to that 2-minute drill. They were able to score lots of times on that 2-minute drill. So Mike Emery certainly knows how to use the clock and uses timeouts wisely. Here's Bydro trying to get outside. Not going to get there. As the Falcon defense comes up big, stops them right at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move in and call a timeout. 2nd down and 10. 1:38 to go. So plenty of time on that clock, Bill. And, you know, never know what can happen.
Colonels get a
Guy,
good
you
run.
sure you saw those vultures? That's what I want to know.
First right at the start. They haven't been around since after that first about 5 minutes of the quarter.
I figured the game was over.
Go ahead, Guy, make your point. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if the Colonels can grind out a first down here,
yeah,
they might be able to put it in the bank. But if they can't get the yardage, they're going to be they're in a fight right now.
Yeah, and you know, if the Fitch Falcons get this football back, Anthony Wilson becomes really more of a threat because he can score from anywhere.
You know,
he puts a lot of pressure on that defense.
You know, it'd be a good call right now. Is a pass play.
Could be.
Everybody's going to be, you know, it's like a goal line defense at midfield. Everybody's going to be trying to block the ball, tackle the ball. Little play action fake, get a guy downfield. Might be wide open for another score.
Or a screen, catch him in a big blitz.
Yep. We'll see what the master.
I would go with something short.
We'll see what the master Bill Mignault calls.
2nd down and 10, 1:38 to go. A 21-16 lead.
Long count. We call a long count.
Double cadence.
Yep. And drawing one of the Falcons offside. Number 69 for the Fitch Falcons, drawn off. And I'm trying to see exactly who that is. Number 69. I don't have him on my roster.
There's actually about 4 of them jumped offside.
Yeah. Ledyard Colonels normally go on the first sound for the snap. That time, again, good decision. Have them hold a little bit, get the extra 5 yards. They picked up what they didn't get when they ran the ball in the first down.
Do that in practice. You miss that call in practice, it's up and around a tree.
All right, Bydro Williams on the 2nd and short. Gets it down near the sticks, but it'll be about a yard shy, and the clock will run with 1:28 to go. And now they move in and call a timeout. And I don't even have to tell you who's calling the timeouts, right? The Fitch Falcons, of course.
Oh, timeout for the measurement.
Is that what it is? An official
Timeout for measurement. Jack Barkley called the timeout, and as soon as they give the snap of the finger, they'll at the swing of the hand, they'll go again. Jack Barkley out there, the referee, umpire John Gomes, linesman Kevin Albanese, line judge Jim Butler, back judge Steve Sylvester.
1st and 10. So a big first down for the Ledyard Colonels. They'll have 3 or 4 more shots to run the clock out.
Colonels don't have to score. All they've got to do is maintain possession of the football.
A 5-point lead now. The Falcons move in and call a timeout to stop the clock. And now they're really up against it because they do not have enough timeouts to cover the number of downs. So somewhere along the line, even if they do stop them, Guy,
got 1 left.
The Fitch Falcons will probably end up with the ball with about 30, maybe 30, 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, they're gonna be in a hole both time-wise and wherever they receive the punt, unless somebody blocks it.
Right.
They're gonna have a long way to go to get there.
And that's if they are able to stop the Ledyard Colonels on downs. Now, that's not to say that a turnover wouldn't happen, but we're talking about the normal course of events, 4 downs and out.
And Jack Barkley did signal that the Fitch Falcons have just 1 timeout remaining. And gentlemen, we've got about a minute and a half to decide who our Star Cable 36 player of the game is going to be. Sam's pointing to 1 number, and Guy will take your thoughts during the next break. And we'll be talking to him, and also the presentation of the sword at the post-game activities.
The Colonel Ledyard Trophy after the game. Handoff is to Bydro Williams again. Not much yardage, but the Colonel's not really worried about running up offensive numbers right now. They just want to keep that clock a-moving.
And who will add to our list of Tom Gardner from Stonington?
Matt
Andy
Gibbs
Prescott.
made the stop. Excuse me, Bobo. Matt Gibbs on the stop, number 76 for the Falcons.
So I say, who will we add to our list from Stonington High School? Tom Gardner, Waterford's Andy Prescott, and New London High School's Mark Thompson as our Star Cable 36 player of the game.
You know who my 2 choices were, right?
Yeah, I know who they are. We got to talk to Guy during the timeout, and
Yeah. I was going to say you ought to add to your list maybe Pendleton.
Yeah, that's...
he's on our list.
He's on the list.
We're making a list.
Where are you going to
Checking it 3 times.
He's
trying to come up.
He's made a couple of plays on defense. You know, made a couple of plays on defense, caught the 2 touchdown passes.
Let's see if this ball game ends with the score as it is, 21-16, because we don't want to come out with our chin, leading our chin.
Well, I tell you what, if the Fitch Falcons somehow score an upset here, I got to go with Anthony Wilson. But if they don't, I'm thinking it's either one of 3 men. It's Dan Whittle, it's Gary Pendleton, or it's Tom Bingham. And I'd kind of like to see a defensive player get it for a change, but a little movement there. Number 62,
Sheldon.
Strong side guard, Richard Sheldon, you're right, Guy. And he was there for all to see. No question about that one as he jumps prior to the snap. That'll cost the Colonels 5. Back outside the 45-yard line, right about the 46. So 1:19 to go, a 5-point Ledyard Colonel lead, 21-16.
That's a surprise because he's one of the returners from last year and played the whole year and played in the state game.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 13 from the Fitch Falcon 46. Time running out on the Fitch Falcons. They trail it by 5. Mignault tries to get outside, now turns it back up the field and gets inside the 40-yard line. I believe G.Drab, big number 33, coming off the bottom of the stack. One of the men on the stop. And I believe Drab was injured on the play. G.Drab, the junior linebacker, 5'11" and 175. It looks like he got the feet tangled up underneath the pile and may have injured an ankle or a knee, something along those lines. So we're under a minute to go, 57 seconds here in the football game. 21-16, the Ledyard Colonels leading it. And those Turkey Vultures may have predicted correctly after all.
So what we're looking at Pendleton caught 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Bingham threw them.
Yep.
Whittle was outstanding offensively and defensively. And Anthony Wilson ran for a touchdown, punted, and as a 15-year-old led the Fitch Falcons against
That's your nephew, isn't it?
Guys that came back. Steve McDermott, yep. Guys that came back and won last year's state championship game. So
we're keeping it in the family.
I'm at a loss today. I'm at a loss.
Yep.
As far as who achieved the most in a game which was a highly contested ball game and who played at a level and had the most pressure on them and did a good job. My mind is made up.
Okay.
My honorable mention is made up.
All right.
And I will go with the majority, though.
Look at this Donovan family. Lots of camera
Steve
time
McDermott.
today. What's the story?
He was at the wedding with me last week, too. And I'll tell you, the 2 of us.
I've got to.
We had our ears glued to the radio to find out what was going on at the football games.
Is that right?
Oh, we were both in trouble. His sister got married, and we had to be there.
I guess so. I've heard some stories, too, none of which I'll repeat.
So congratulations to Sean and Eileen Johnson. Don't do that when I'm saying congratulations to my niece.
Well, I got to do this right here. This winter, when you think of warmth and security for your family, think Benvenuti Oil. For 3 generations, Benvenuti Oil has delivered prompt, reliable service and high-quality oil. Benvenuti Oil has 24-hour service department, and Benvenuti features the Burnham boiler line, hydronic or steam. Burnham boilers are one of the most economical burners today. Call Benvenuti Oil. Winter's fast approaching. 443-6115. That's 443-6115 for Benvenuti Oil. And who's going to answer the phone there, Bo?
I think that was Cliff on the phone, and the clock
who's
is
going to answer the
ticking
phone?
down. What phone?
At
I'll be there.
Benvenuti Oil.
Charlie? Oh,
Charlie.
No, not Charlie.
That's
Charlie's
right.
always out somewhere. You can never
That's
find
right.
him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Carol knows where he is because he's got a radio in his truck.
All right. There you see the clock rolling and the time ticking away. Colonels cannot stop it. They're out of timeouts.
Put it in the bank.
And the Ledyard Colonels, and chalk up another one for the Turkey Vultures as the Ledyard Colonels hang on for a 5-point victory over the Fitch Falcons. A hard-fought football game. Give Mike Emery and the Fitch Falcons a lot of credit. They came from behind twice, but just ran out of time in the final analysis. End up losing the football game by a score of 21-16. But I think, Bo, we are getting a look at one of the future stars in the ECC, and that would be the young quarterback, number 7, Anthony Wilson, the freshman who came in, scored a touchdown threw some passes that were very impressive, but just couldn't get it done in the final analysis, and they couldn't catch up with the Colonels, who got those 2 touchdowns late in the second half from to Pendleton from the quarterback Tom Bingham. So your final score here from Ledyard High School: the Ledyard Colonels go 4-0-1 now on the season. 21. The Fitch Falcons go to 2-3, 16. The final 21-16 Colonels. We'll be back with our post-game show right after this.
Nothing to be ashamed about. Nothing to be...
The Groton Shipbuilders Federal Credit Union began in 1939, established for electric boat employees. It was also known as the EB Federal Credit Union. In 1992, it became known as the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union, the largest community credit union in Connecticut, one of the largest in New England. Charter Oak now has 70,000 shareholders, just like you. Unlike a bank, you own a stake in our future. What started as a dream for the common working man and woman is now a reality. The Charter Oak Federal Credit Union.
We are back at Ledyard High School. There's a good look at the Colonel Ledyard Trophy, which goes to the winner of this afternoon's ball game, and that being the Ledyard Colonels. And the head coach of the Colonels is here with us, Bill Mignault. We'll let you put that big fella down. It was a good, hard-fought ball game all the way. And were you surprised at all at the ability of that freshman quarterback to come on and play the way he did?
No, he's an excellent young man. He's a good athlete. You can see he's a very strong young man. He's very mature for a freshman. And, you know, we watched him play in the games that we scouted this year, so we knew he'd do well. And he broke that quarterback draw very nicely and got them right back in the ball game.
Now, you came up with a couple of pass plays to Pendleton yourself. Can you describe what kind of play it was and why you think it worked?
Well, it's a series that we used in the state championship game last year against Newtown, and it got us some big plays, and we knew that Fitch would be coming up tough. Their line is very strong, by the way, and they were really giving us a hard time in the interior, and we knew we had to open them up somewhat, so we used a play that we used in the championship game last year. Unfortunately, it worked.
Now, next week you're coming up against the New London Whalers. It's going to be a tough ball game for you?
Oh, certainly. New London is always tough. They have a very, very fine team. I wish we could get another couple of games under our belt before we had to play that one, because we're a very young team. We were only starting 3 seniors on offense today, and a lot of sophomores, and 4 seniors on defense. So we think our team is coming, but we're still not where we want to be.
You think you'll be ready for them next week?
Well, we're going to give it everything we got, and we're the team that beat them last time over there, so we're going after them again.
What do you think you have to do against New London in order to come up with a victory?
I hope we can control the ball and not give any big plays, but everyone says that when they play New London. So we got to do the best we can and go out there, play tough D, and get our own offense going, and hope we come up with some plays that work.
Head coach Bill Mignault, thank you very much for stopping by, and good luck next week. That game, by the way, will be on Star Cable Channel 36, so we'll be there watching it.
This game that we played today will be on Monday.
Monday night it is.
Monday, and I'd like to say my assistant coaches did one fine job getting ready for this Fitch Falcon team, because Mike Emery is an excellent coach, and he's got that wing team working to perfection over there, and we just hope that the series will continue as tough as it always has been.
Okay, head coach Bill Mignault to the victorious Ledyard Colonels, going 4-0-1 on the season now and capturing the Colonel Ledyard Trophy. We'll be back with our surprise player of the game right after this.
Hi, I'm Michael McKeever, General Manager of Michael Chrysler Plymouth. That was then, this is now. Here at Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu, we're proud to announce that Isuzu has been added to our dealership. Did you know Isuzu is the oldest truck and car manufacturer in Japan? And now we're your #1 Isuzu dealer in Southeastern Connecticut. What a combination. And should your Isuzu need servicing, our mechanics are the best in the area. Come in and see the all-new Rodeo, the Isuzu Trooper, Impulse, and more. Experience the Michael Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu difference.
The fact of the matter is, the most dangerous thing most people will ever face in the water is the water.
Prize player of the game today, not really a surprise, but to a youth that had an outstanding football game today, only as a freshman. And Anthony, the last time I saw you, it was in Plainville, Connecticut, during the Nutmeg games, and you were in the pool.
Yes, I was, kind of.
And today, the second time I've seen you in a couple of months, quarterbacking for the Fitch Falcons, and an outstanding effort today. Not only did you play quarterback as a freshman at 15 years old, you led the Fitch Falcon team against a team of contenders that won the state championship last year. Very cool out there today. Ran for a touchdown, punted the ball a few times, and what was going through your mind as you were coming here today on the bus to Ledyard High School?
At first, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what to expect, but first hit, I felt I was ready. I just took control.
Great moves on that touchdown drive, and a couple of minutes left in the ball game. Falcons were down by a couple of touchdowns, but you brought them right back, but the time just ran out on the Fitch Falcons today.
That was just good blocking by my offensive line. We've been working on that play all week, and we just executed it and we scored.
Only a freshman, great future at Fitch Senior High School for Anthony Wilson, and what I'm hoping is that you hit the books and you tell all your buddies to hit the books, because I'll tell you what, I saw some talent out there today, and on both sides of the field and beyond high school, man. It's the grades and the athletic ability.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And you were selected today by our broadcasting team to join the ranks of Tommy Gardner and quarterback from New London High School, Mr. Mark Thompson, and Andy Prescott from Waterford High School. We take this Story Cable 36 Player of the Week plaque seriously as a memory of David Roach from New London, Waterford High School area. Sean Roach's dad, he passed away last year, so a great job, and keep it up, and let's have a good season for the Fitch Falcons, and I hope you have a great career over there.
Thank you very much.
Our player of the game, number 7 from the Fitch Falcons, Anthony Wilson. Back with our closing remarks on today's ball game right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Gerard Toyota BMW in New London, the largest Toyota BMW facility in the Northeast, wants to meet you. With over 100 BMWs and 300 Toyota cars and trucks in stock and a team of 20 knowledgeable salespeople, Gerard is working harder to become your new car dealer. Flexible payment plans make buying easier, and 15 factory-trained service technicians keep your car running like new. Gerard Toyota BMW, New London, where we compete and you win.
It's quick! No, I mean really quick. It's easy. Easier than that. And it's the law. No, it's the law. Men register with selective service when you turn 18. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Sometimes you just have to ignore. We're back at Ledyard High School. Sam Gingerella, Guy Mazzarella, Billy Bobo Donovan. A fine game here this afternoon, an unusual afternoon contest here at Ledyard High School, with the Colonels coming up with their 4th victory on the season against no losses and 1 tie. 21-16, a little closer than we expected, no, Bo?
Well, I thought that the Fitch Falcons had a legitimate shot at winning today, and they had the lead, but never count Bill Mignault and the Ledyard Colonels out. They came back, and they're a championship caliber club, and They don't make mistakes. Actually did make a mistake or two today. It cost them on one occasion, but a good ball game. Wilson almost brought the Falcons back to striking distance, but as we talked in our interview with him, time ran out. Ledyard Colonels win it, a deserving win, and a good ball game, and glad to have a good one on Star Cable.
As far as the Fitch Falcons go, their future looks pretty good here. Looks like an up-and-coming type of ball club. Got a lot of youngsters at the skill position, and then of course Anthony Wilson, our player of the game, as a freshman, he's going to be heard from in this league.
Oh yeah, I from the sidelines where I was, whenever he came off the field and went on the field, he wasn't worried about. It didn't seem like he had any worry at all. He had confidence in himself, confidence in what he wanted to do, a lot of poise. He did not look like going on or off the field, and when he was on the field, like a 15-year-old freshman who hadn't played football in a while. He looked like he'd been around for a while, maybe even like a third-year player or something. A lot of poise, a lot of poise. He's going to be heard from.
So the Fitch Falcons, although they do give the Ledyard Colonels a battle and a run for their money here in the ball game, do come up short. The final score, once again, here from Ledyard High School, the Ledyard Colonels 21, the Fitch Falcons 16. For the Ledyard Colonels, they are now 4-0-1 going into next week's big showdown with the London Whalers. For the Fitch Falcons, 2 up, 3 down, and as we mentioned, they're a team that is rebuilding, and they're looking good, like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future here in the ECC. Once again, next week, Monday night at 8, it'll be the Ledyard Colonels taking on the New London Whalers from Pat Canamilla Field in New London. Right now, this is Sam Gingerella for Guy Mazzarella, Bobo Donovan, and the whole crew here at Stora Cable Channel 36 saying